Yo, and hello and welcome to the 106th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free every Wednesday in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast directories, and in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can listen to episodes, subscribe for behind-the-scenes news, read rad articles, and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, Jamel Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Bass.
Was that like an epic guitar squeal?
Yes.
Like an 80s fucking sustained note. I like that.
Just classic rock.
That
dude.
was so rock. Dude.
Classic bass. You know? That's that classic bass. I just pictured you rolling in
on top of a car, with a guitar.
Yeah, dude. Just a tattered shirt.
Surfing in on top of a fucking
long ass hair, just down to your fucking ass, and then
sleeveless shirt, just fucking.
And all these chicks just smoking cigarettes, standing around you, just wearing nothing but leather.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's a scene. That's a beautiful scene. What car would you be standing on? That's what I want to know.
Some kind of Corvette.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feel that one of those old tanky cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be an old school. It would be an 80s, a Corvette. Yeah.
Good call, dude.
That's what I would be rolling up on top of, One of the chicks smoking cigarettes would be actually driving the car. I'd be standing on the hood of the car playing the guitar. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
They're rocking out. I wouldn't really be rocking out. I'd just be playing that
that
sustained
one
note
sustained
over and
note.
over again. Just with as much distortion as possible. Just
And it just keeps going higher.
Oh shit!
Fuck yeah.
What's
Anyways,
been up, man? How's your week been?
It's
I
been
feel like this week went by fast.
super fast.
Weird.
But I think it's because we attempted that thing on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
That's why.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
failed attempt that we will bring to you guys one of these days. But in the meantime, enjoy Jamel's Tomb Raider footage.
Yeah, the Tomb Raider footage, which is kind of laggy, but
I thought it looked pretty good. I watched half of it. I don't know if it gets bad at the end or something, but
no, towar's the beginning,
it looked
was
good to me.
It wasn't too laggy for you.
I don't know. I liked it.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, I'm a bad judge of these things. But
I think I need to fix the bit rate. That's what. So just so everyone knows, I'm a work on it. Hopefully by part 2 there won't be any lag. And it looks
it could
so
have been a lot worse. I'll tell you that.
There you go. It could have been worse.
The
so
picture
go check
quality
it out.
looked pretty good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm just fucking around with the pictures now. Laser eyes, whatever you can think of, it's gonna be happening. I just wanted to be the plane that was chasing her.
The laser eyes, though, that shit was real. You look like a fucked up Thomas the Train Engine character or something.
And I feel like I did a good job by making a nice clickbaity title for everyone.
Oh yeah,
But it's also apt.
Very apt.
Yeah.
That's actually, honestly, that's kind of one of my favorite things about the first game, if I'm just being real for a second, compared to the other two.
Yeah.
It's you have this inner struggle with Laura developing this killer instinct,
Which is kind of fucked up. She's slowly becoming a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like
a fucking sociopath almost, because she's still out there trying to do her thing. She just stops caring. She stopped I don't know. It's so weird because you see this de-evolution of her psyche, and then she reconstructs it. It's really interesting. I like how they did that in the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, and it all starts with the deer. You kill that first deer, and then it's having the death rattles, and then she's just oh, I'm sorry. And it's
by the end of the game, you're just
covered in blood,
dropping on people, stabbing their heads, and shit.
Ripping deer limb from limb, eating them raw. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that was fun. But yeah, we're gonna do her story together. So you guys watch out for that because that's coming real soon.
Man, I went to the movies this week. I went and saw that new Jordan Peele movie,
Don't
Us.
you dare.
I won't spoil anything.
Don't spoil it, but talk about it. Because I was going to see it this past weekend, too.
It's interesting. I actually really liked it. I just feel like there were some plot holes. I'll let you go see it yourself. Because it might be one of those things like Hereditary where I'm just like not understanding everything fully. And so like maybe it's just not clicking all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need to watch one of them YouTube, or it's like Us, the true meaning behind it.
Bro, I was on Amazon Prime. By the way, if you guys have Amazon Prime, Hereditary is one of the free videos on Amazon Prime. Totally worth watching. But it's got like 3 stars out of 5 on Amazon Prime compared to some of this bullshit that's got like 4 or 5 stars. It's like, who rated this? Like, who did this? Who's responsible for giving that shit less than 4 stars? You know, that's bullshit. Like,
which is weird. I don't know.
It's one of the, in my opinion, it's one of the best horror movies of the past like decade. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like,
I told y'all that I watched it recently, right? Again.
Was it as good the second time?
Yes, it was better. Like, because I noticed all the little things.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a huge fan of watching movies twice. Like, once I've seen a movie, that's it. Like, unless it's like a Pokemon movie or something where I just put it on for like feel goods and it's in the background.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ever watch. Besides The Matrix. There's a couple movies that I do it with.
You know, my girlfriend hasn't seen The Matrix.
Please let me become your girlfriend. Dude. At this point. Like, that's not funny. No, but like, please let me date you, Brent. No, like, I want to go back to a time before I've seen The Matrix.
And rewatch it?
Yes.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like,
not rewatch it. I want to watch it for the first time again and just have my fucking mind blown.
I can't wait to show her, dude. There's a lot of movies that, like, people should watch that she hasn't seen that I'm so excited to show her. Like, she hasn't seen any of the Toy Story movies, bro.
What?
I'm dead ass serious right now. She hasn't seen Toy Story 1, 2, 3, none of that. And Toy Story 4 is coming out soon.
Are you sure that she's real?
That's what...
You just like go up and like... like
she's just a hologram the whole time.
This is a robot.
Reach in the back and I've been plugged into the Matrix and it's like... No, I don't know. Like, there's just a few movies that she's got to see.
But see, that's the thing. You could take this as, oh, well, that's lame. Or you could say, holy shit, now I get to show you all the fucking movies that you...
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. You know, one of these days I'm just going to sit her down. And I'm not even going to show her the second or third Matrix. I'm just going to show her the first one.
You get to revise history.
I get to revise... It's like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
She's
Matrix
like,
Reloaded.
Wow, that was amazing. So, is there a sequel? No.
Don't even look into it, okay?
Not even worth looking up. Pointless. They never did it. No, but wait. So let me ask: has she seen the Harry Potter films?
Yes, she has seen the Harry Potter films, but she hasn't read the books. But I mean, you know, a lot of people haven't read the books. I don't think you can't knock her for that. But I do. I am one of those people that's like that's one of this one series in particular where it's really worth taking a few, like a week or two out of your life and just reading the books.
If you can read all the books in a week, then you're fucking... Which is, okay, there were, like, people back when we were kids that would read that shit in a night. I'm like, how the fuck do you read a whole Harry Potter book in one night?
You're not really enjoying it if you read the whole thing in one night. I will say, I've blasted through quite a bit in one night.
Yeah,
but
just not a whole fucking book.
But, okay, my thing is, like, you know... Man, I forgot where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
Harry Potter.
I lost my train of thought. Reading, Harry Potter. No, it's okay. I lost it. It was one of those fleeting thoughts. It was like I was grabbing at it as it was like going away. You know what I mean?
No.
I lost it like right at the end there.
I feel that.
But, you know, it's a lot better of a book. There's so much more detail and stuff. Oh.
Like about Dumbledore being super gay, dude?
Yeah. And when I say a week, I don't mean like, you know, a week. I just mean like collectively. Like if you were to like start timing it every time you open the book and then stop timing it, you know.
It'd be about a week of your time.
It would take about a week of your time, I feel like. Because like, let's see, well, how many hours would a whole week be? Like 24 hours times 7.
How long do you think it would take to read the first book? The first book would probably take about like...
The first book would be one of the
hours.
shorter ones, huh? I think it might be the shortest one. I'm not sure.
I'd say it'd be like 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
If you just sat there and read it.
Yeah.
You know? And then the second book gets a little bit bigger. So you're talking.
By the fourth one would be the biggest challenge, obviously, because it's so gigantic. I mean, the fourth one's
goblet.
like 1,500 pages or something. It's really long.
Yeah. Wasn't that like a thing back in the day that everyone got offended about? Was that it was like somebody was saying it's like bigger than the Bible?
Oh yeah, it is though. I think
a lot of books have more pages than
Yeah.
the Bible. I don't know why that one gets.
Why is that? It had
Yeah.
more pages than the Bible. It was
It's no
bigger
one-
than Harry Potter. I think that was a long.
Oh, definitely. That book was stupid large.
Stupid big, dude. I had like the finest print version of it, and it was still like gigantic.
Dude, like the thing about it, it's like, how does Stephen King even have time to do anything?
How does he keep up with his storyboards and shit?
Yeah.
There was so much going on in that book. It's kind of almost got like a Game of Thrones-y type of thing where you got to keep up with everybody's like story. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah, and he's written like 50 books, and like almost like all of them were, top sellers and shit.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's fucking stupid. I mean, anyways,
Skills, I guess.
skills, dude. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway,
What really blows my mind is that he's so old and he's still doing stuff.
he is so old.
He's like, so not hating on Stephen King, it's just a fact. He's like 80 almost.
He's just like really old,
and he's just ding, 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 bringing out books, man.
Is he 80? Oh.
I think so. If not older. I could be wrong about that, but he's pretty old.
Oh. We're gonna have to look into that. Anyways, so we're gonna get to the video game news, guys.
Got some good stuff. A lot of news this week, actually.
Just so you know, we don't claim any of the news as breaking on GameSpeak. We're just grabbing news, bringing it here, and giving it to you.
Yeah,
with our opinions.
We do
and
not
stuff.
claim it. We do not own the rights.
Can you own the rights to news? I guess it's really that we don't own the rights to the words or the opinions of these news sites. Our opinions are separate.
Well, I mean, we're just reading you an article from a news site word for word. We're just regurgitating it.
It's like on episode 106, we completely just rethink our entire lives of the GameSpeak podcast. What have we done?
But so, don't get mad at us if some of these opinions are crazy or if they're your opinions and we're out here saying them, because,
we're not claiming it.
We're just spreading it around like butter, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So,
spread the news.
Without further ado,
let's jump in.
Some good stuff happened this week. We had that PlayStation State of Play Direct. Did you hear about that?
No. Let's hear it.
Let me tell you everything that happened there. This might take a second. Actually, it probably won't take that long. They announced Iron Man VR. Okay, first of all, let me back this ass up for a second. This is actually what PlayStation is going to start doing now instead of E3. This is like their Nintendo Direct style thing. So
told you
we can expect this to happen, periodically throughout the year. A lot of big announcements, especially for VR users like myself. I'm really excited. So yeah, we got Iron Man VR coming. Saw a little trailer for this. Didn't look too promising, honestly, in the little parts where it showed gameplay. But VR is one of those things where sometimes the trailer looks a lot worse than the actual game is. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say if it's going to end up being good or not.
Well, it's very static. Not too much going on.
Yeah, like the textures of the clouds didn't look very good. It just didn't look impressive. I'm kind of expecting like the Spider-Man Homecoming thing where they had they advertised like Spider-Man PSVR and then it was literally like a 6-minute thing where you shoot webs in a target gallery and then the thing's over. You know what I mean? So I'm expecting something like that. If I get anything better than that, I'll be pleased, but we'll see. So this is a big one for the VR people though. This whole thing was pretty much VR oriented with a few other little things here and there. They announced that Hello Games, the people who did No Man's Sky, is adding VR support for PlayStation to No Man's Sky. And they're doing a physical copy for the Beyond update coming this summer. So
Yeah, they said you can play the entire game in VR.
That's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, dude. Like, I'm excited to fly around in a spaceship and go from world to world in VR. We were talking about this the other day. Like, this is one of those games that would be exponentially better in VR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think
it was on our list of games that would be better, I'm pretty sure.
I'm extremely hyped up about this, especially if they have the co-op stuff still intact, you know, because that would be sick if you could, like, partner up with a friend who plays, you know.
Well, the co-op stuff is going to be coming with this update. Like,
oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, I know they already have some sort of facet of multiplayer with
yeah.
Next. They implemented some kind of co-op, but it was kind of hard to matchmake or something. Like, they're going to make it a lot more seamless in the new update, I think.
Cool. And it's a PSVR exclusive.
Yeah.
Like the VR portion of it.
Yeah, totally. So that's, man, I'm really, really hyped about that. I can't wait to have another big-ass game. And this is one more big AAA game to add to the list of games with VR support, which is pretty sweet, you know? And it's probably something I can play without running around in my room too much, which I'm really excited about because I have not gotten to play some VR in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have to wait till summer for that. They also announced that Crash Team Racing is going to drop on June 21st, and the PS4 version is going to be coming with exclusive, like, PS1 style skins. I'm so happy with all these, like, games doing this. I really enjoy it.
Oh,
but they have, like, the blocky
shit.
characters, you know, so that's going to be fun.
I like it.
Let's see. We got Ready, Set, Heroes coming. They announced that at the Direct. It's like a co-op 4-player game. Kind of looks like Gauntlet, but with more cartoony, kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of makes me think of, what was that game called? It was like something Crashers, Battle Crashers.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I totally do.
That was dope.
That game was dope, dude. I feel like they made a sequel to that. Maybe not. Maybe they're going to. I don't know.
We need to see.
They announced Five Nights at Freddy's VR.
I saw that. That's pretty cool. I guess I did see all this stuff. I just didn't know it was from like a PlayStation thing. I just thought they just announced these games.
Dude, Five Nights at Freddy's VR, that's one thing it's just perfect for VR. It really is. Like, the whole concept of Five Nights at Freddy's is, like, first of all, that you're, like, sitting in an office room, you know what I mean, with scary shit trying to get in at you, which is perfect for, like, a seated VR experience, you know what I mean?
But what if in this one you have to stand up and walk around in the office and get to different screens and stuff?
Oh, maybe.
And maybe, like, you...
Maybe, because the point, well, that's another thing, you know, the other one you have to, like you're constantly looking at stuff and looking away to manage your thing. I don't know, man, it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be really cool.
Definitely.
It says it's going to have, like, remastered versions of old levels and new levels for the game, so should be pretty sweet. We got Concrete Genie coming. Did you see the trailer for this?
No, what's that?
Okay. So it's this interesting looking game. You go around and you spray paint walls or something. You're trying to, like, it's a really weird looking game. It almost has this, like, Tim Schafer kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. I feel like they talked about this game a long time ago. Is this a remaster or something?
No. This is new. This is some new shit. It's like this kid and, like, the city's all corrupt and, like, there's these bully kids, like, chasing him around the city and you're, like, spray paint. It's you're, like, doing this beautiful graffiti and all the art comes to life and you're, like, friends with these monsters you draw and stuff, and, like, I don't know, it looks really weird and interesting, and apparently it's gonna have some kind of VR support. I'm not sure about that.
You know what, I feel like we saw this at that PlayStation Experience. We saw a trailer for this. Remember that kid was, like, spray painting something on a wall and it, like, came to life or something?
You know what, I think you're right.
I feel like I
but
know,
but now I guess it's like, you know, got more to it, because it showed a lot of gameplay. Like, it showed him running around the city. It was really pretty. The art style is gorgeous in this game. I don't know. It's something to really keep your eye on. I think it's going to be one of those sleeper hits that's really good.
Nice.
You know what I mean? The way they were showcasing the, like, him drawing stuff and, like, it interacting with the world, it looked like that was going to be a core gameplay mechanic and be really original. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see.
No, for sure.
Let's see what else we got. We got a new Days Gone trailer, and we have a new Mortal Kombat trailer. And that's all they showed, pretty much.
Was Shaggy in it?
No, I wish.
No, cool. So they're doing big things over there.
Yeah.
So now let's see what big things Nintendo's been working on. The Wall Street Journal reports that Nintendo will launch not one, but 2 new Nintendo Switch models in 2019. One of these would feature improved hardware, while the other would be a pared-down version intended to sell at a cheaper price point. One of these new Switch models will sport quote-unquote enhanced features, and it's designed for avid gamers. However, its specs won't match that of Xbox One X or PS4 Pro. That's what the Wall Street Journal said.
What if they added like a 3D Switch, like the 3DS? That'd be kind of tight, dude.
I think it would be cool if they added like 3D functionality somehow, just so they could port 3DS games over to it.
Yeah.
You know, or just stop making 3D games. But the other system is described as a cheaper option for casual gamers that Nintendo sees as a successor to its aging handheld 3DS device, according to WSJ.
Probably smaller and portable exclusively. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be small. Yeah, portable exclusive. It won't have any TV or
It'll just be like a straight up portable,
handheld.
and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I honestly, I hate to say it, I play mostly in handheld. You know what I
think
mean?
most people do.
I don't know why. I just get a kick out of holding it in my hand and having all that power in my hand.
Yeah. Every now and then I like to slip it into its dock.
Yeah.
Just nice and slow.
Well, you know, if I'm playing, this is going to sound weird, but when I'm playing the like old school Nintendo games, I really prefer to have it up on the big screen. But
Same.
when I'm playing the like high quality, like super big games, I like to have it in my hand. I don't know. It's so weird.
Well, like whenever I was playing Dead Cells, for some reason in my mind, or like Celeste even, because it's an indie game, I was just like, oh, this game was made to be small, you know? And so I'm like playing it on handheld and I forget that it's on other consoles. It's not a Switch exclusive. I'm like, oh, this has been played on big screens the entire time.
Yeah.
And then I'll like slide it into the dock. I'm like, oh, it's so pretty.
Some games are just better, like with that.
Handheld.
You know, I don't know.
But according to WSJ or Wall Street Journal, Nintendo is planning to announce the new Switch consoles at E3 2019 in June and then launch them a few months later in time for the holiday season. A Nintendo representative declined to comment when approached by WSJ. The source explained to WSJ that the new consoles might not be what you expect. Quote, "You would be wrong to think the enhanced version is similar to what Sony did with PS4 Pro and the other is just a cheap alternative that looks very similar to some past handheld machines. Say Sony's PlayStation Vita, unquote," the source said. Intriguingly, the report goes on to claim that the lower-cost Switch model is doing away with things like controller vibration in an effort to cut costs. The report doesn't include any mention of price points for either console. The existing Switch is currently priced at $300 in the U.S., and in another change, WSJ reports that Nintendo is working with Sharp on the displays for the new Switch models. The company reportedly bid to make the displays for the original Switch consoles, but lost out.
I should have waited. I bet those Sharp screens are going to look sick.
I don't know who Sharp is.
You know, Sharp. They make like TVs and stuff.
I mean, I can't imagine why they would lose on a bid if they were going to be making some dope ass
Maybe
shit.
they wanted too much, you know? I don't know. You know what I think is going to happen? Just based on the source that says don't expect like the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X of the Switch, you know what I mean? I watched this YouTube video the other day, okay? And it was like a phone, you know, and the thing about the phone was it had the same kind of 3D effect as the 3DS, but it was it worked so well you could see it on the camera and stuff, you know, like through the guys filming the phone.
That's
you know
crazy.
What I mean? It was like incredible. And what if they did something like that, like just a really, really evolved version of the 3D? You know what I mean? Like,
I seriously doubt it. I don't see 3D being a thing because even towards the end of the 3DS's life, like the 3DS games coming out didn't even have 3D compatibility.
Yeah. Man, I just really liked that. I think I was one of the few people that like really was sold on that gimmick, you know?
I was sold on it.
I got a kick out of it, man. There was like, I don't know, it was cool to me to see like Navi like flying around like over the screen kind of, you know, like I don't know, that was tight to me.
When it was utilized like correctly, I enjoyed it. Like
some games did it better than others.
Super Mario 3D Land, amazing. Like, you had to use the 3D because of the perspectives and stuff like that, you know.
You know, like Resident Evil Revelations 1, I think was better on 3DS just because of the 3D effect. I think the 3D effect added to the ambience of like a horror game and stuff.
Yeah.
It really, I don't know, it was really interesting to see your like, you know how like in Resident Evil they do the laser sight?
Mm-hmm.
The depth added so much to that like laser sight. It looks so
that
cool.
That sounds cool. Yeah, I wish I would have played that on 3DS.
It was sick. In my opinion, it's one of the best 3DS games. Like, I don't know. There wasn't a lot of other games that like put that much quality into like the graphics and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And that was like original 3DS, not like the new 3DS or anything, I don't think.
Oh, no. There was only like 2 games for the new 3DS, really. Like 2 or 3 that were made specifically for it. But anyways, what you got?
Okay, as was recently rumored, Apple is expanding its presence in the games industry with a new game subscription service. Named Apple Arcade, the service is designed for mobile, desktop, and the living room. You can check out a brief overview trailer below. Essentially, Apple's service takes the form of a monthly subscription that provides unlimited access to a curated selection of paid titles on the App Store. Development partners include Sega, Konami, Disney, Sumo Digital, Cartoon Network, and more. More than 100 exclusive games will become part of the service. More games will be added all the time, the company says. It will support across all iOS devices, Mac OS, and Apple TV. And you'll be able to transfer your progress between these different platforms. In other words, you can move from playing blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, basically what we got here is like a shitty version of Google Stadia. You know what I mean? This is like if Google Stadia is HTC Vive Pro, this is Nintendo Switch Cardboard Labo.
I could
VR.
see that, but I guarantee you this one will get used more, just because it's so mainstream.
You think this will be more popular than Stadia?
Yeah, well, for the time being, because I think like
shitty app store.
Yes, because think everybody has a phone. You know, everybody pulls out their phone to play some. Like, it's gonna be tough to be walking down the street and then whip out your fucking Stadia controller and start playing a game on your phone. Most people are just gonna play fucking Flappy Bird and shit,
know, man. They
or
might have
the
some...
Flappy Bird knockoffs.
You don't have to always play the like action games. I mean, you bust out Stadia, play some like Wolf Among Us or something. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. You
but,
could do that.
Okay, I will say this. I see what you mean. You know,
yeah,
what I mean?
I'm just talking about financially. I think for the first couple years, Apple Arcade is gonna do amazing compared to everyone else.
I'm interested to see what happens. I think Apple Arcade is like, it depends on how much it costs. I think that's going to be a big factor in how well it does. If it's cheap, if it's like $7 a month or something, then I think people will do it. You know, if it's like unreasonable, if it's like $20 a month, people aren't going to bite on that. You know?
Are they going to have exclusives, or is this going to be strictly mobile games?
I'm thinking it's going to be mobile games, man.
They say they got Konami, they got all these people on their side. One thing about it though,
it says more than 100 exclusive games will become part of the service. But it also, earlier in the thing, it says it's a selection of curated games from the App Store.
Okay, so
it's games from the App Store. It's, you know,
they're trying to make this into their 3DS. But with streaming. So okay, so it's going to be
3DS?
all these. I just mean like it's going to be a handheld market, you know. So it's like that's what they're attacking. But with these small, like, you know, a lot of games are getting ported to mobile now. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of quality games on the App Store if you really know where to look.
I want to see. Yeah, true. I want to see how this affects the free to play model of everything, because almost every game on the phone now is like free to play, and then you just like pay for random shit in the game, you know. So like, what's going to happen to that market? Like, are they going to start changing the price of games if you don't?
That's interesting to think about. I mean, well, okay.
Because like Apple, okay, so
That's
Apple
crazy.
Arcade, you're going to pay like a flat monthly rate, you know, and then so all these developers are going to have to make money somehow if their game's not being, you know, streamed or whatever to Apple Arcade or however the fuck that works. But so like they'll probably start charging for games, and instead of doing the like free to play with buying a bunch of shit, it'll just be like $10 and then you get your game.
Well, I don't know. I think these free-to-play games will remain their own entities as far as like an app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think as streaming games evolves and becomes more mainstream and takes center stage, you'll just be able to download these games like apps onto any device. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, while you could probably bring up Stadia and browse through an enormous library of games, you could probably also still buy games. It's like movies, you know? You can still go buy a movie online if you want to, or if there's a movie you really want and it's not on Netflix or something, you could still go
I heard from Jason Schreier that Google, not that I heard from him personally, but he basically said that there's no...
that's Google. Okay,
I'm just talking about Stadia specifically. Stadia said there will be no downloads at all.
Look at Netflix. You can't download the movies from Netflix.
It's not like you own them.
But you can still go buy movies from a different source. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's how video games will continue to be. I don't think, obviously they're not going to put all games on Stadia. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. They're not going to get the rights to everything.
Yeah, of course.
But
that's what I'm saying. Those games that do stay outside, but those are actual games. Not that mobile games aren't real games, but
right?
But I'm saying
those are real games.
What are these games for ants? No. But that's what I mean though. Is these games that are just these small time developers putting out little mobile games. They're gonna have to charge for them because if they're not on the Apple,
absolutely.
Let's end it right there. This has been 2 years of GameSpeak podcast.
Oh, jeez.
So, Season 1 of Apex Legends launched on March 20th, and alongside the first wave of cosmetic items for players to grind out as part of the Battle Pass, developer Respawn Entertainment also introduced a new character called Octane. While most... I didn't even really say his name right. Octane. While most assume that Respawn was planning to release one character per season, it seems that isn't the case, and another legend will be made available before Season 1 is over. That's according to a listing for the Apex Legends Season 1 Battle Pass on the PlayStation Store, which references a second new character and a weapon. Quote, 2 new characters will launch over the course of the season, it reads. But in the meantime, look out for a new weapon set to launch as the season progresses. Best of all, each new legend and weapon will launch with a full set of cosmetics to unlock. 2 new items will be introduced during the season that will offer something new and innovative to the strategic mix, end quote. But yeah, so there's another character coming.
Dope. Keeping it fresh, keeping it relevant. Are they still keeping it relevant? Are they still relevant?
I think so.
Do people still care?
I believe so. I mean, I was just playing. I'll talk about it later.
I haven't played in a while. I need to get back into it.
I think that's I think it's still doing really well on Twitch and everything too. So
well, good. Let's see. Oh, that's what you just talked about with the Nintendo Switches. Okay, here we go. The Firestorm Battle Royale mode for Battlefield, the new Battlefield game. Was it Battlefield 6 or 5?
5.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, 5.
Sorry, I forget.
I went from 1 to 5, so I don't really know.
I was going to say, they throw me off with that. Firestorm Battle Royale is out now, and it's getting good reviews, and I was watching some gameplay, and it's pretty cool, dude. I saw this video and this guy drives a tank through this house where people are camping in, and he just crashes through the fucking house and tears the whole house down with the tank and shit.
Oh, nice.
And it looks cool, man. The graphics,
so it's got full destruction going on.
I gotta say, it's the best looking battle royale out right now too. The environment looks good, and everything looks really beautiful. Good. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd love to. I'm considering buying Battlefield. I never thought I'd say that, but
it's 64 players though, right? It's not the full 100.
Well, neither is Apex. Apex is only 20 teams of 3. 24 teams of 3 or something. It's not a full 100.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's only 60 something.
24 teams of 3. What is that?
Or 23 teams of 3 or something. It's not a full 100 though.
But it's also different though. It's you're squad up no matter what.
Yeah.
With 3 people on a team. So it kind of takes that to a different level.
I think it's all about the player to map ratio.
Yeah,
you can have
exactly.
the full 100 and have like
But Battlefield's typically pretty ginormous.
Look at like PUBG, like in the original PUBG map. I feel like you have the full 100 there, and you still have too much map, and nobody can find you. You know what I mean? It's like,
no, I agree.
I don't know.
But imagine that in Battlefield. Battlefield's fucking huge, dude. Always, I feel like.
Yeah, but this is different. I mean, they're just gonna I don't know. I feel like they know what they're doing here. They're not gonna scale it disproportionately. There's probably a reason that they're doing it this way. Yeah. They probably had it at 100 in the beta, and they were like, "Oh shit, this is ridiculous. Yeah. We got to scale it down." You know what I mean?
True. Okay. I'm excited for that. I'm probably gonna watch some videos on that.
Yeah, you should. It looks pretty sweaty.
So Naoki Yoshida is currently very busy with his work on Final Fantasy 14 online, but in a dream scenario, what kind of game would he like to make? Speaking to GameSpot at the Square Enix offices in Shinjuku today, Yoshida said he'd like to take on the Battle Royale genre with a project of his own. He teased that he has, quote, some ideas, end quote, to innovate on games like Fortnite and Apex Legends, though he didn't share any specifics. Me too. Yoshida also said he'd like to make another MMO someday that may not be set in the Final Fantasy universe. He'd like to make that game before he dies. And while on the subject of dream projects, Yoshida said he hopes to play Diablo 4 before he leaves this world. Quote, I would like to make a Battle Royale game. I have some ideas to do that, Yoshida told GameSpot through a translator. I have some ideas to make that type of game fun. Damn. As an online game designer, I would like to make an MMORPG from scratch without any limitations or restrictions. Removing all those kinds of restrictions, I would like to make an MMORPG that fits the current trend before I die. I would also like to play Diablo 4. End quote.
Oh man, lofty goals, bro.
Yeah, those are some good goals. I imagine he'd throw in some RPG elements into the Battle Royale, dude, which I think would be really clever if somebody could figure out a way to do that.
Well, you could do it by mixing in did you ever play that game? It didn't do very well, but Bloodborne? Did you play Bloodborne?
No, I didn't play. I watched some stuff on it. So you're talking similar to a MOBA almost.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, just in the aspect that you're leveling up your character rapidly throughout the match.
And it resets every time.
Yeah.
Just like a MOBA.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I think if he could figure out a way to do that and then there's different classes that have different things that you can do, and maybe limit to you have to play on a team or in a party. We'll call them parties because it's RPG. And you can only choose one. There can only be one class per team. You know what I'm saying? Or one person playing a certain class per party. So you gotta evolve it basically.
And that sounds a lot like Apex's formula there.
But with the RPG elements added, where you slowly grow in strength, not through weapons. Everybody has a specific weapon, but instead of looking for weapons, you're looking for XP and shit, orbs of spirits and stupid stuff. Anyways, what you got?
Let's see. A new narrative action adventure game will take a deeper look at the story of Gollum, the pitiful creature at the heart of the Lord of the Rings series. The Lord of the Rings Gollum from Daedric Entertainment is slated for 2021, with platforms to be determined. The story will follow the life of Sméagol, a.k.a. Gollum, as he finds and becomes corrupted by the One Ring. It will follow the events of the novels, so we all know where he ends up, spoilers, in a volcano. But the story promises new events and details related to Gollum's journey. Right now, it's due on PC, as well as whichever console platforms are relevant at the time. This appears to be the first of several planned partnerships between Daedalic and Middle-earth Enterprises. We tell Gollum's story from a perspective never seen before in any storytelling medium, all the while staying true to the legendary books of J.R.R. Tolkien, says Daedalic CEO Karsten Fichtelman. Man, they're really trying to get me with these big words.
These big words.
In the announcement, At a time when the games industry is undergoing structural changes and seeing new business models evolve, we are excited to realize a huge new production based on a story that has stayed fresh and relevant for more than 60 years.
You know, I don't care. No, just kidding.
I'm sure somebody out there.
Yeah,
does.
someone's excited.
Somebody out there listening is like freaking out.
Probably
right now.
not. So probably a lot of people like that have heard the news. Anyways, following the special episode of Persona 5, the animation titled Stars and Hours, developer Atlas revealed a little bit more of the mysterious game Persona 5R.
Oh shit.
In a trailer, it confirmed that the PS4 game's full title is Persona 5 The Royale.
Oh shit.
It's just a battle royale. No, while further details
Dude,
on
that'd
what
be
the game
sick.
is weren't provided, Atlas has teased that it plans to reveal more about Persona 5 The Royale on April 24th during the live concert event Persona Super Live 2019.
Oh shit.
Based on previous Persona releases and the trailer, we suspect Persona 5 The Royale will be a kind of Game of the Year edition that features some extra content to make it worth replaying. And that's what GameSpot said about it.
That's sick, man. Yeah, well, that would make sense because Persona 4 did the same thing and Persona 3. But one interesting thing to note is that when Persona 4 did it, they went from being they changed platforms. They put it out on Vita, and it was originally on PS3 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or no, it might have not been PS3. I don't remember. But it came out on Vita instead. So maybe,
Nope.
just maybe,
Stop.
it'll come on Switch.
No, it won't.
If it does,
If it was, they would have already said that.
nah, dude.
They said it's PS4 exclusive.
Nah, they didn't say that.
Well, they didn't say it was exclusive, but they only announced it for PS4. But they did say it was coming to PS4.
Yeah, but I think it might also come to Switch, man.
It better.
Believe,
quit
dude.
getting my hopes up.
If it
dude.
does come to Switch, bro, you gotta try it. You gotta play it.
I know that's the thing.
I really want you to, because you're gonna fucking love this, dude. And you're gonna take, man, oh, bro.
Dude, I'm excited. If it is coming to Switch, that's why I'm saying stop getting my hopes up.
Oh,
Because
dude.
I'm never gonna play on a PS4. That's just not gonna happen.
I'm just really excited for the potential, even the inkling of a chance that you might. Because, like, okay, well, never mind. I'm not even gonna get into my conspiracy theories here.
Don't conspire, dude. What you got?
Let's see. Oh wait, no, that's what you just read. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 because this one's really short.
Okay.
Sea of Thieves, not Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves is adding fishing. So there you go.
Cool. Are people still playing that game?
I guess so, because they're requesting fishing. But let's see. NetherRealm Studios has. I'm not going to go too far into this, but I just want to read the beginning of this, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
NetherRealm Studios has revealed the first DLC character coming to Mortal Kombat 11, the Master Sorcerer Shang Tsung. During a panel at C2E2, a funny video featuring the character was shown and surprisingly confirmed that he will be based on the version seen in the 1995 movie. In the Mortal Kombat movie, Shang Tsung was played by actor blah 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 blah. So I mean, but what really kills me here is like they're already announcing the DLC. Like, I hate when games do that. You know what I mean? It's like you have this content already and you're launching the game and withholding it, and that makes me so mad.
But if it's a free update, then who cares?
It's not a free update.
Oh, well then fuck them, dude.
You gotta have the battle pass or whatever to get it, or not the battle pass. You gotta buy like
the fighter's pass,
the deluxe edition of the game to get the fighter pass. Yeah, whatever it's called,
the beater pass.
So I don't know, man.
No, I think it is bullshit. But
my thing is like at least wait a week or two and act like you didn't have it already made. You know what I mean? Act like you weren't ready to launch it at launch with the game. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's just
like, oops, we accidentally made this.
Oh, we just left this one out. I guess you got to pay for it.
Yeah, it's gonna cost a lot for us to send it out to y'all. So, sending it through mail.
Yeah, you got to get the combat pack, bro.
Combat with a K.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm still kind of hyped about it. I mean, at least they're not going full Dead or Alive fucking 6 with it. You know what I mean? Or 5 or whatever, you know?
It's to be expected these days, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no one's hiding it anymore. You know, so, like, I mean, when's the last time that someone was like, oh, we're not going to tell you what the DLC is? And,
yeah, you're right. I'm just being a little overly critical. I'm sorry, Mortal Kombat.
No, because
I love you.
You gotta imagine
you know?
they gotta have that shit ready already, but to go. Otherwise, it'll never, like
I know.
it'll come
I just
out
want
a year
like
later.
the mystery here. Like
Same.
don't tell me now. Don't let me know that you're already sitting there just holding it, in your back pocket waiting.
Yeah, do the Smash Bros. Do what Smash Bros does. Keep people guessing. That's what people want. They want that like, oh shit, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Yeah.
They don't want to sit there and think about it because then they get bored before they even try it.
Speaking of Smash Bros, I can't wait for him to add Joker in. That's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get that fighter pass for that. I'm sitting here talking shit. Smash Bros is the only thing I'll willingly like shell out fucking money for each character. I don't give a shit.
But see, they even tease it right though. So like they shown that Joker is going to be there, but they still haven't even shown what Joker looks like technically, like in animation. They've shown like just the figure.
I mean, I have like an idea in my head that I'm sure will be very accurate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's just because you know Smash Bros. And you know who Joker is. So. But anyway, so Capcom has released a number of updates for Monster Hunter World since it launched last year. Most notably, Dante, Geralt of Rivia, and even Street Fighter's Ryu have found their way into the game's expansive world. Ahead of the major Iceborne expansion's launch this fall, Capcom is planning to release an update that introduces graphical changes to the PC version of the game. The news comes via a message on Steam. The update scheduled to go live on April 4th will include a new high-resolution texture pack and will be available as free DLC through the Steam store. Hunters must make room for 40 gigs of data on their hard drive and have at least 8 gigs of VRAM installed to accommodate. Yes, PC words.
God.
Further system requirements will be outlined after the update. Also, in the update is a new TAA plus FXAA or temporal anti-aliasing and fast approximate anti-aliasing respectively option, which will be added to the advanced graphics settings menu. Imagine having to know all this shit just to play a goddamn game.
That sounds horrible.
It does. Additionally, when selecting the take all option, all items will display at the rewards screen upon quest completion. Hunters using the focus camera option should notice smoother, more precise mouse controls. Friends can join will be included in the private session settings. And finally, the update will include bug fixes related to localization and more, though Capcom hasn't specified what other bugs will be ironed out.
Damn. Cool.
Yeah, so that's some shit that happened or is happening on April 4th.
Ah, interesting.
And you take it from here.
Okay, I got a bit more for you guys.
Fine.
So you just have to just have to sit with me for a second. This one's kind of sad news for me because I invested in this before I realized what I was doing. You'll be waiting a while longer to continue Life is Strange 2. Square Enix outlined the upcoming roadmap of releases for the remaining episodes.
Nothing.
And the next one isn't coming until late spring. The full season is slated through the rest of the year. The company's outlined its season of content on Steam. Episode 3 is coming May 9th, followed by Episode 4 on August 22nd, and Episode 5 on December 3rd.
That's not so bad. It's all throughout the year. I mean,
gotta go through the whole year.
It's gonna take you like a good 30 minutes to beat each episode. So like super.
Bro, I'm gonna forget what happened in the first 2 episodes by the time we get it. Hopefully they got a
they'll
recap.
it.
Yeah, surely they better fucking recap.
They'll definitely recap. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, they just show you
changes. Oh shit. Okay, so we got oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna try. I gotta try. Okay. Ryu got Gokuta or got. You just
took like 4 different anime characters. You got like Ryu, Goku.
It's Ryu got Gotoku.
Let me read it.
Ryu got Gotoku. Am I right here?
Ryu got Gotoku.
Okay.
Ryu got Gotoku.
Ryu got Gotoku. God, I'm so terrible at life. Studio, the team behind the Yakuza series, has provided an update on its upcoming PS4 title, Judgment. The game became embroiled in controversy when the Japanese voice actor Pierre Taki was linked to drug use.
Fitting name.
something which is treated very severely in Japan. In a tweet, the developer said the character model and voice for Taki's character, Kioi Haramura, will be adjusted for its Western release. Additionally, screenshots and trailers featuring Taki's character have been temporarily removed from all of Sega's official channels. In the future, this material will be made available again with the adjustments reflected in them, Sega confirmed. So they're, like, literally cutting him out of the game.
Yeah, hold on. I want to just show or read this. So basically, possession of marijuana, just marijuana in Japan, is punishable with up to 5 to 7 years in prison.
Holy shit. Oh, dude, I didn't even see the rest of the article. There's more. They took him out. Disney has also stopped sales of Frozen in Japan because of this. Because he plays the character Olaf.
But that's the culture.
And they're
there,
replacing him in Frozen 2. It's just wild. Like, holy shit, that's so severe. Like
he's probably going to go to prison, too, for a long time. Like, up to probably, 15 years.
Like, not even that big of a deal, dude. Like, he just did a little cocaine. Like, come on.
But that's you're thinking American. You're like, it's just a little cocaine, man.
My thing is,
over there, it's like...
I mean, I get that it's super taboo, you know, but, like... Fuck, dude. Like, this guy's whole life is, like, pretty much fucked because he did a little coke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you know it's that severe, though, maybe you shouldn't...
Don't do the coke. Or move, you know?
Yeah, or move. Come to America.
And do coke.
Yeah.
Come do coke with us. Do you live in Japan?
It's like an infomercial. Epic Games disrupted the industry when it unveiled the Epic Games Store, a distribution platform similar to Valve's Steam, late last year. Since then, we've seen a number of exclusive games released on Epic's Games Store, skipping Steam, at least for the time being. While Epic has a lot of catching up to do in terms of features set, CEO Tim Sweeney has declared that its stance on allowing crappy games onto the platform. Or declared its stance on allowing crappy games on the platform.
Won't have it.
In an interview with PC Gamer, Sweeney said the Epic Games Store won't distribute low-quality games, although it's unclear how that quality will be determined. The Epic Games Store will have a vetting process to ensure only, quote, reasonably good quality products, games of any scale, whether small indie games to huge AAA games, will make the cut. We'll have a quality standard that doesn't accept crappy games, Sweeney said. We'll take everything up to like an R-rated movie or an M-rated game, Sweeney implied that its quality standard won't gatekeep developers from experimenting with the Unreal Engine. The side of Epic that makes creative tools like the Unreal Engine available to everybody says that you can use our tools for creating anything that's legal, Sweeney said. And we have no creative say in it. We can't veto whether we find it controversial or tasteful or not. However, Sweeney added, we'll be aware of the quality of what's submitted prior to making a decision to list it in the store somehow.
So if you're going to make like a mass shooter game, it better be a fun one.
Better be high quality.
It better be dope.
This is in stark contrast to Steam's policies, which allows a wider range of games on the service.
Shitty or not.
Yeah. So there you go.
Shitty or not.
Let's see what else we got.
Here I come.
Okay. Google Stadia is a service that allows players to stream video games via the cloud. We talked about that. During an interview, they asked about game exclusives on Stadia. VIP Phil Harrison said, it was a conversation that I had with Google leadership before I joined the company, Harrison said. My point of view was, in order to really deliver on the promise of this platform, we had to build our own games. We had to build our own experiences, and that was a very fundamental strategic decision that we needed to move in, he continued. I understand that for a gamer, the word exclusive can sometimes be a challenging terminology. I would rather we moved into move the narrative towards games that are built specifically for a data center. And if those games also show up on other streaming platforms, that's okay. Because what that means is that the developers are starting to innovate and think about the future and build a 21st century game rather than a 20th century game. Harrison further clarified that any game that Google makes will obviously only be on Stadia. At GDC in 2019, Google revealed it has a new first-party studio that's being led by Jade Raymond, a former head at both Ubisoft and EA. The new studio hasn't announced any specific games or projects it's working on yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got here.
Ready for that exclusive Google game.
Right. Oh, my goodness. Okay, this was a big article. I'm going to skip the article, but basically it's the same guy that they were just talking to in that interview, and he was talking about how the benefits of like Stadia having all the power for each individual player is like you can do like split screen, or you can like in-game project an image of like your teammate screen on like a horizontal surface or something and like see. So if you're like a fan of split screen, it should be like a big resurgence of split screen pretty soon with the coming of Stadia, apparently.
Yeah, because they were talking about how the only reason split screen really died out is because of the tech. Is saying that it took too much power to have split screen.
They were having to like downgrade the quality of the games to do split screen and stuff. But apparently it should be relatively easy for developers to implement split screen now. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for that to come back. I mean, you can do it in Halo. What's the problem? What's the problem?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's the problem?
You couldn't in Halo 5, though. So
I really don't mind a little bit of a graphics hit if I can play with my buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes up for it. It brings quality of life to it, But anyways.
Let's see. Big change is afoot for French developer Quantic Dreams, and it's good news for PC gaming fans. Some of the studio's most popular games, including Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human, are coming to PC. They'll debut first on the Epic Game Store with 1-year exclusivity window before launching on other unspecified PC stores.
Damn.
Quantic said in a press release, "This is a big deal considering these games were previously not only exclusive to console, but only to the PlayStation family. And in the case of Detroit, it was released as a PS4 exclusive 2018. So you get it.
Yeah.
But they talk about how they're excited to be a partner with Epic Games Studios, and so I'm thinking in the next Quantic Dream release might be
just PlayStation.
Not just PlayStation, but it might be an Epic Game Store exclusive for like a year if you think about it.
I doubt they would do that because they would shoot themselves in the foot. They go to, like, there's way more console gamers than there are PC gamers.
Well, absolutely, but if Epic's paying enough money, then who fucking cares?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You know what I mean?
But
then again,
at least go exclusive.
Epic probably realizes that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they probably realize that I don't know.
Go exclusive on PlayStation and PC. I mean, because it doesn't affect each other, in that case.
Yeah.
I feel like they could just do that.
Yeah, that
would be a big deal.
I agree.
As long as they're not on Steam, I think that's all they're worried about.
Or go Xbox exclusive. Just fucking mix things up.
Just to fuck with everyone's minds.
Let's see. As a big part of its presentation at the Game Developers Conference, Epic Games announced a massive grant program, and it's thanks to the popularity of Fortnite. The Epic Mega Grants program awards a share of $100 million over the course of 5 years to aspiring game developers, educators, and other professionals using the Unreal Engine and open source tools. This is the next stage in Epic's grants program, which started in 2015 with a $5 million pool. That funding has expanded significantly, which Epic chalks up to Fortnite's unbelievable success. The grants will be awarded ranging from $5,000 to $500,000. Those who receive the grants will still own their IP and be allowed to publish. Epic says that these grants have no strings attached, which means you don't have to sign any kind of exclusivity arrangement to receive them. There is no firm deadline for grant applications. Specifically, Epic is looking for grant recipients across 5 categories: game developers, media and entertainment, enterprise, education, and tools and open source development. Each application should focus on how you plan to use Unreal 4 in your work, curriculum, or research. You can check out the official site for more details. At Epic, we succeed when developers succeed, said CEO Tim Sweeney in the announcement. With the Epic Mega Grants, we're reinvesting in all areas of the Unreal Engine development community and also committing to accelerate the open sourcing of content, tools, and knowledge. So that's pretty cool.
It's interesting.
They're basically just giving out money for the sake of like
They're balling.
bettering the developers out there using their like tools. I think what really is they want more good games out there using the Unreal Engine instead of like Unity or something.
Because it goes right back to the Epic story eventually.
And they know that it's just as good as like any other open source engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just have to get people to use it. You know,
for sure. It'll be good.
I don't know. I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm not mad at it.
No.
Let's see. Oh, man, so much. I'm sorry. Oculus has revealed its next PC-based VR headset called the Rift S as part of the GDC 2019. The most notable improvement is the inclusion of the built-in sensors for inside-out tracking. This means you'll no longer need to set up an external sensor if you use a Rift S. Additional details on Oculus Quest, and actually I think this makes this the first tethered VR headset aside from some of the Windows headsets that's like inside out tracking. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong. Additional details on Oculus Quest have been announced as well, which is the company's upcoming standalone headset. Both packages will include 2 Oculus Touch controllers as well, the built-in sensors. It goes on, it's talking about the specs. One interesting thing I think notable about the specs, it's going to have a higher resolution than the normal Oculus. Obviously, the Rift S, you'd expect it to. It's gonna have a lower refresh rate. It's going down from 90 hertz to 80 hertz, which is weird. PSVR's got 120 hertz, and the Vive has 90 hertz. You know what I mean?
Maybe lower is better.
No, lower is not better.
I don't know anything about
Absolutely
these words.
Not.
Why is lower not better?
Because it's the time it takes to refresh the screen. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's all about...
I think that has something to do with how fast information can travel, and if you're doing it wirelessly, it's going to be, like, I don't know.
Well, it just says that, it says here that Oculus stated that this was done to offset the increase in resolution in order to maintain the same required PC hardware specifications to run Oculus games properly. So they're just doing that so you can still play the same games and it not look funny. But it's like, it's just strange that like that's even a thing, because I've always heard that 90 is like the absolute lowest you can go and still have convincing VR. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
So obviously that's not right, and then it goes down here and it says that the Oculus Quest is going to have a 72 hertz refresh rate.
I've heard somebody talk about using the Oculus Quest, and they said it was awesome.
They said they liked it?
They said it was like just as good as like playing it on the Oculus.
Because I've also later in here it says, check this out. This is one thing. I thought the Oculus Quest was going to have access to like Steam and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not the case, which just really turned me off of the Oculus Quest.
But you have to do like
entirely.
plug it up and then like download stuff to it?
It's got its own library. It's going to be like
its own Netflix
its own little
style
thing.
thing.
It's going to be its own little thing. It's not going to have a fucking it's going to have hang on, what does it say here? The Quest game library will differ due to the lower specs of the standalone headset. However, all Quest games will be playable on the Rift S. So more than 50 games will be available for Quest on launch day.
Yeah, but how much more will come to it? That's the question.
My thing is, that's a good question.
Where's the support going to be?
That's a very good question.
That's asking people to invest in something that could possibly just be pointless. Like that would die off after like 60 or 70 games.
Yeah, it's scary, I don't know. Especially when you can get a PSVR for like $130 used right now. And there's like literally like 400 games for the PSVR, you know what I mean? Like
that PSVR 2 coming soon.
Yeah, true dat. Who knows, man? The VR future's looking bright though, regardless.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of VR, Sony has continued to do well in the virtual reality space. Sony has sold a grand total of 4.2 million PlayStation VR systems worldwide. The company has announced in a blog post on Monday. That's total units actually bought by customers, not just shipped. We're actually very excited. We're also very excited to reveal that we have sold more than 4.2 million PSVR systems worldwide as of March 3rd, 2019. PlayStation social media chief Sid Schumann wrote, "We'd like to thank our fans for the amazing support for helping us achieve a milestone. As VentureBeat noted, recent estimates have put Sony well ahead of the competition, with industry firm IDC writing that it's pegged PSVR sales around 463,000 in Q4 for 2018, beating out Oculus Rift at 300,000 and HTC Vive at 230,000. The main advantage is that PSVR headsets the main advantage that PSVR headset has over the competition is natively supported by its namesake console, which is the most popular on the market, and driving massive revenue for Sony.
Yeah, that's a given.
Meanwhile, Oculus and HTC headsets require pricier computer setups. The GTX 1060 costs, which is the lowest spec recommended graphics card for the Oculus, costs over half as much as the PS4 Pro by itself.
Yeah.
So, you know.
PC gaming is a rich man's game, dude.
It is.
It's not something like that's why fucking Tomb Raider was lagging in my recording cuz I had my bitrate too high cuz I have a gaming laptop
that can't handle the
games, you know. But
it's okay. If Stadia really comes through with their promise, it won't matter.
It won't. No, it won't. And it'll stream directly to YouTube without us doing shit. Anyways,
that's all I got.
Cool.
Sorry, that took forever. There's a lot of news, man. It's a news-filled week.
Lots of VR, dude. Lots of VR.
It's my kind of week, dude.
VR. No, okay, so we're going to jump on over to this week's releases, where I'm going to let you know what new games are coming out in the next 7 days. If you choose to grab them,
don't do it.
On you, yeah. We got Path of Exile coming to PS4 on March 28th, and it's free to play.
Oh.
Path of Exile is a free-to-play PC online action role-playing game, RPG, coming to PS4, and it's set in a dark fantasy world. Playing as one of 6 character classes, players find themselves banished for their past misdeeds to the dark fantasy world of Rayclast. Just use your imagination. Then we got Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered coming to Xbox One and PS4 on March 29th for $39.99.
The Switch version's coming later, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm going to wait on that Switch version. I would never buy that if it wasn't coming to Switch, honestly.
Same.
But I might get it because it's coming to Switch.
Supposedly the remaster makes it a little bit better,
Yeah, it's going to have better controls. Tighter controls.
The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 4, Take Us Back, is coming to everything that game is on March 26th. And then we got DayZ coming to Xbox One on March 27th for $39.99. The post-Soviet country of Chernobyl is struck by an unknown virus, turning the majority population into frenzied infected. Fighting over resources has bred a hostile mentality among survivors, driving what's left of humanity to collapse. You are one of the few immune to the virus. How far will you go to survive?
A lot of zombie games coming out this year.
Oh, yeah. We got Days Gone.
Days Gone, DayZ, World War Z. We got GTFO, I think, is coming out this year. We got... what's that? Back 4 Blood. We got
that ain't coming out this year though. That was just announced.
What else we got? Hang on, there's one more that's a big one. The Last of Us 2.
Oh, Last of Us 2. Those are freakers, dude.
They're fucking zombies.
I know. Freakers are the other game.
Yeah, freakers are Days Gone.
What's clickers?
They're clickers.
There's clickers and freakers. I seriously, whenever they're like, oh yeah, they took that idea from them. Freakers.
I mean, do they freak? Because the clickers click.
Yeah, they get freaky. They're just like all fucking all over the place whenever he shows.
It's freakers. He's like under the bed, and they're just like freaking on the bed, just like he's like, ah.
Oh, this 80s terminology for sex. But and then we got Assassin's Creed Liberation HD Remastered coming to Xbox One and PS4 on March 29th as well for $19.99.
How much was 3?
$39.99.
So okay, I think 3 comes with Liberation included in the bundle. I think it's like a thing.
Does it?
Yeah, I could be wrong about that, but I think this is just
you're right.
a standalone version of the game that comes with 3. I could be wrong though, so don't quote me on that.
I have no idea. But I'm going to agree with you. And then we got OMG Zombies coming to Switch. Oh, another zombie game. No, but this has been out before, but it's coming to Switch on March 26th for $4.99. Alert! Alert! OMGZ! The city of Redfield has been hit by an outbreak of exploding zombies. For cool and unimportant reasons, these suckers literally explode when shot.
For cool and unimportant reasons.
Showering their zombie brethren with gore and causing chain reactions of showering zombie gibs with just a single bullet.
Dope.
Armed with this knowledge and bullets coated in a zombie exploding pathogen, your elite unit is dispatched to the epicenter of the outbreak. Your mission? Succeed where the police and army failed and clean up the city. Okay.
Sounds just stupid enough to be fun.
Yeah, well, I feel like the story or like the writing is pretty great, but
just so dumb it might work.
And then we got Croy Lore Sigma coming to Switch on March 28th. I could not find a price for this game. Tonight, in the Queen's realm of Lance, 2 prodigies representing the knight and aristocrat factions will do battle in the adjuvant trial. Croy Lore is a high-speed 3D action adventure with RPG elements. Fight your way through dungeon floors of enemies to reach the deepest level. Collect XP and money to level up and buy new weapons and skills. Croy Lore Sigma is a upgraded and expanded version of the original Croy Lore, which was originally produced as a Japanese indie game project before being expanded into the Sigma edition and brought to the rest of the world. And then we got Deponia coming to Switch and Xbox One on March 27th for $39.99. In Deponia, the world has degenerated into a vast garbage dump in which the crotchety Rufus ekes out his sorry existence. He is part of the lowest social class, doomed to live his life in literal mountains of trash. He hopes for an opportunity to get into the world of the rich, who live in a floating city high above the clouds. Fate seems to smile on the snotty good-for-nothing when one day the attractive lady named Goal from the higher sector plummets into one of the trash heaps. Rufus decides to help the young woman out by taking her back to her husband. When he notices that Goal's husband is a dead ringer for himself, he hatches a diabolical scheme to gain access to the upper world. However, things don't work out quite as planned, since he has feelings for the beauty, which limits his unusual unscrupulousness.
For some reason, the description of that game made me think of the song Wonder Boy by Tenacious D. You know, like in the castle and the clouds and the trash and stuff. I don't know.
I was just thinking of BioShock.
I'm just imagining 3. Wonder Boy.
Well, yeah, help Rufus, the poor boy from the junkyard, to win over the girl from heaven. And then we got Air Conflicts, Secret Wars, coming to Switch on March 26th for $19.99. I actually might want to get this, even though it was a game that came out on like 360, I'm pretty sure. It's like, Air Conflicts, Secret Wars is an arcade flight simulation set in World War I and II scenarios. During the 7 campaigns, the player has to fly and fight through over 48 missions. Before taking off, the player can choose between different aircrafts, each with different strengths and weaknesses.
Cute.
Yeah, it just sounds like Crimson Skies. That's why I want to play it. She Remembered Caterpillars, coming to Switch on March 28th for $11.99. She Remembered Caterpillars is a fungi punk fantasy about love, loss, and holding on, told in the format of a color-based puzzle game.
Did you say a fun guy punk fantasy?
Fungi punk. Apparently that's
fungi, like a
mushroom? Mushroom punk, whatever that is.
I thought you said a fun guy punk. I was like, what is fun guy punk like? Hey guys, I'm punk rock.
Fun, dude. And then we got Operencia, The Stolen Sun, coming to Xbox One and PC on March 29th. Couldn't find a price. Operencia, The Stolen Sun is a classic-styled first-person dungeon-crawling RPG, one that embraces everything players love about classic first-person dungeon crawlers, as well as enhances the old-school turn-based RPG experience with modern sensibilities. And then we got Bedtime Blues, coming to Switch and PC on March 29th for $9.99. This one actually looks pretty cool. It reminds me of like a whatchamacallit, like a think Outlast, but with weird pixely graphics. It's in first person, but it's like they say that child's imagination is pure and innocent. But what if said imagination becomes a nightmare? Play as a youngling surviving through the night and the pixelated horror. Your once beloved teddy bear had come to life and became conscious. Wander around your bedroom searching for clues to unravel the story.
Is it like 3D or?
It's 3D and it's on Switch. It's gonna be dope.
What's that called again?
Bedtime Blues.
That kind of reminds me of that game Among the Sleeping. Did you ever play that or see it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
It says but keep a close eye on the room as each hour it slowly changes. Listen close for when it comes. Scare the teddy away with your flashlight. Don't forget to check under the bed for monsters.
How much is that gonna be?
$10. Okay. Is this nightmare real? Is your bedtime over? And then we got War Party coming to Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and PC on March 28th for $24.99. In ancient times, a powerful civilization thrived, blending technology and magic to assert their dominion on the world. Eons have passed since their fall, and nature has reclaimed its place, leading wild beasts and dinosaurs to roam the land once again. The tribes of men have emerged and grown into this savage environment, using whatever tools at their disposal and harnessing the powers of the ancients from the ruins of their cities and temples. They thrive and fight with each other for the limited resources of this world. Then we got Anger Force Reloaded coming to Switch on April 2nd
What a
for
shitty
$8.49. Anger Force Reloaded is an action-packed, vertically scrolling shoot-'em-up game that pays homage to the classics of 90s arcades. And then we got Windscape coming to Xbox One, Switch, and PC on March 27th for $19.99. Windscape is a first-person exploration action-adventure full of exciting challenges. Its unique art style is reflected in expansive worlds and their bizarre inhabitants. On your journey, you will find dark caves, ancient ruins, and mysterious woods. By exploring the beautiful game world, mining resources, and fighting epic monsters, you collect numerous materials that can be used to craft items, weapons, and armor. And then we got Yoshi's Crafted World coming to Switch on March 29th for $59.99.
Dope.
Yeah, that's about to be out.
Played the demo on that.
It's whack.
I don't know. I liked it. I have mixed feelings, so I'm not sure. I'm probably not gonna go rush out and get it or anything, but I had fun with it. I like Yoshi though, so
I like Yoshi too, and that's why I didn't like it because it was so fucking slow and like easy that like I mean
like
that
might have been just like the first level though. Maybe it picks
that's
up.
true. That better.
Yeah,
that better. Then we got 7, The Days Long Gone Enhanced Edition coming to PS4 and PC on March 26th for $29.99. 7, The Days Long Gone is a 3D isometric RPG in which players will get a chance to freely explore the sandbox world of Vetral Impure. And then we got Alien Cruise coming to Switch, Xbox One, and PC on March 27th. Couldn't find a price, but control 4 vegetable pilots to save different planets occupied by the enemy. Each planet comes with unique characteristics along with a wide variety of obstacles that block the pilot's way. Utilize various weaponry to improve the vegetable's strength.
Are we talking like vegetables?
I think
like
they're flying in
tomatoes
vegetables.
Potatoes?
They're piloting them.
Carrots?
Carrots.
Wait, so they are vegetables or they're in vegetables?
I think they're in vegetables. They're piloting vegetables.
Oh, I thought they were like vegetable pilots. Like they were
like
actual
they're
vegetables piloting a normal ship.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm thinking like a
saying.
carrot with eyes. Like imagine VeggieTales.
Okay, I like that.
And they're all just piloting a ship together.
I could see that. And then we got Fun Animal Park coming to Switch on March 28th for $29.99. Fun for the whole family. 30 unique mini-games feature the intuitive Joy-Con motion controls, and the rules are so easy that players of all ages and experience levels will have so much fun! Fun! Animal Park has 3 different gameplay modes in tour mode. There's some shit. Oh, players are guided through Animal Land and compete to find the champion. In one match mode, compete in your favorite game. And in solo mode, work to break your own record and achieve the highest score. Even if you aren't playing, the game is as much fun to watch as it is to play.
I wonder if it's fun.
Probably not. Fun!
It's so fun, you guys!
If we say it enough, they'll believe it. Then we got Gallic Z. Coming to Switch on March 26th for $9.99, Galaxy offers the next generation of shoot-'em-up action, combining modern AI physics-driven mechanics and open-world expanse with classic 16-bit space shooter blasting. And then Tropico 6 is coming to PC on March 29th for $49.99. El Presidente is back. In times of political turmoil and social unrest, the people are calling for visionary leaders who will steer the fate of their country with foresight and ingenuity. And then, and he's like, prove yourself once again as a feared dictator or peace-loving statesman on the island state of Tropico and shape the fate of your nation through 4 distinct areas. And then we got The World Next Door, finally, coming to Switch and PC on March 28th for $14.99. You've been waiting for... No, you haven't. But The World Next Door is a narrative-driven action-adventure game that follows June, a rebellious teen girl trapped in a parallel world inhabited by magical creatures, inspired by the emotional storytelling and thrilling action of both anime and indie games. Players can expect to meet and develop friendships with an eclectic cast of characters while uncovering the mysteries hidden within this world. The mysteries. Okay, so that's it for this week's releases, guys. Before we jump into currently playing, I got the games with gold for April.
Nice.
So, Adventure Time Pirates of Enchiridion is still available until the 31st, so you have a little bit of time to grab that. But the Technomancer is coming April 1st through the 30th for free, and then Outcast Second Contact is is available from April 16th to May 15th. And that's it for... Oh, no, and also on Xbox One, you can still grab Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 up until April 15th. So grab that if you want that. And then for the 360 games that you can also play on Xbox One, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is coming to...
That's pretty dope.
Not the new one.
I know.
The
360
classic
one, yeah.
Yeah. April 1st through the 15th. And that's just them continuing this old LucasArts shit, which I'm
I heard they were bringing LucasArts back.
I don't know who you heard that from.
EA is opening up a new branch of game development that's going to be called LucasArts. It's going to be like a resurgence of LucasArts.
Why was that not in the news?
I don't know. I just read about that somewhere. I guess GameSpot didn't pick it up or something, but I don't know.
That would be cool.
It could just be bullshit,
That would be cool if they did that and they brought back like the old guys that worked on KOTOR and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're going to get at least some of the people that were at the original LucasArts, But see, that's one thing that was cool about LucasArts is it did more than just Star Wars games.
Yeah.
They did like Tim Schafer did a lot of his early projects at LucasArts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did
like
the
Monkey Island. Yeah.
And Grim Fandango.
Grim Fandango. And some other ones, I think, too. I think Psychonauts might have been done at... No, that was Double Fine. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
That's
some good stuff.
Yeah.
But also, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 is coming April 16th through the 31st.
Oh, cool.
Cool, so let's jump on over to currently playing.
Yes, currently playing. You want me to get into this right now?
For sure.
Right here, right now?
Yours is usually longer than mine, so go ahead.
Okay, I played a little Fortnite, Fortnite's fun. They got that new ball thing. I finally found one of those new ball vehicles, and it's pretty tight because it's got like this grappling hook, so you can like swing through the trees with it, like Spider-Man.
Nice.
So you can like bounce off of like a hill and then like grapple on a tree branch, and you'll swing, and then you can like jump through the air and like grapple on another tree branch, and you can just swing across the map. It's super fun.
Speaking of which, I feel like they should do a crossover with Attack on Titan, and they should add Titans in the level. And like you get the little
that would be fucking sick, and that would work really well.
Yeah, with the trees and everything.
Yeah, they already have like a lot of different grappling hook elements implemented in the game. You could make like a LTM game mode that's just like grappling hooks unlimited, and like you like fly around the map. That'd be tight.
And if you like kill one of the like, that's not your main focus, but if you kill one, you get like a huge
legendary weapon or something. Oh, that'd be tight.
Yeah, why is that not?
Oh, that's another thing. I was playing Fortnite, and they have these treasure maps, and I didn't expect the treasure map to have some crazy treasure in it, but like you follow the treasure map, and then there's like a dotted line, and like obviously you want to do all this while at the same time avoiding getting killed by everybody.
Yeah.
But you follow this dotted line, and you'll eventually find an X on the ground, and you like pickaxe the X, and this chest will come up out of the ground. Then you open it, and there's like fucking like 8 gold weapons in it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
smart.
It's pretty fun. So I played a little Fortnite. I've been playing on my Switch lately because my PlayStation's, PlayStation service ran out or whatever, and my Xbox doesn't have enough space, so I just have it on my, Switch, playing it on the old switcheroo. I have also been playing UFC 3 still, but I'm like at the pinnacle of my UFC 3 game. I'm playing the career mode over again now, but this time I'm on the highest difficulty officially. I'm on legendary mode.
Okay.
So legendary mode is like next level. First of all, you don't have like a little stamina bar in the corner. You don't have anything. Like, and if you die, if you lose, like, okay, when I was playing the Fire Emblem style before, like, I was doing it myself. I was just forcing myself to continue. And now it does it. It's like automatically like that. You know what I mean? The actual game is like that. And like, it's more than just that. Like, if you fail in your training and stuff, you can't redo that either. So it's like super hard to get your character better. And like, I don't know, it's easier to get injured and stuff. And I don't know, it's really fucking difficult. And I'm having a more realistic career, I guess, because in my other ones, I was just starching everybody. Like, I would go like 20-0 before I finally lost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now my guy's record is like 6-3 or some shit, so I've lost a few fights, and like, I don't know, it feels more like a real guy's career, so it's a little more fun.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's making me better at the game even now. So like, I feel really good at that game. Like, I think if I had to pick a game that I'm the best at right now, it would be that game. It's so fucking hard to get good at that game, dude. You have to like figure out the nuances of like fighting almost. Like you have to look at how they're like leaning and like hit according to how they move and stuff. It's like really fucking detailed and like. But it's a lot of fun. It really is.
Nice.
And let's see.
A lot of fun out of that.
I know, man. I gotta say, that's like the best $30 I've ever spent, honestly, because I've been playing it since I got it, and I like haven't stopped. I also got a couple of indie games on Switch I've been playing. I played the Sparkle Zero, which is like basically like that snake game where you go around and you eat stuff and you get bigger and you try to take out other snakes, but prettier and less fun.
Oh, okay.
I also got 3/4 Home, which is this weird game where you're like driving home and you're talking to your mom on the phone. This is the whole game. You're driving home, you're talking to your mom on the phone.
Let me guess, you get in a wreck.
No. Well, actually, I'm not sure. But, like, the whole point of the game is, like, there's a tornado coming, you're driving through the storm, and it's telling this emotional story. And I was, like, really into it. And, like, I kind of, like, laid down, like, while I was playing it, and I, like, fell asleep. And I just woke up, like, 5 hours later, and the game was just, like, playing, you know? And I was like, okay, I gotta... But I played, like, most of the game, I think, you know? And the majority of it is just you driving, talking to your mom, is telling this interesting story. You get all this, like, backstory for this dude. I don't know. It's pretty good for what it is. It's one of those you could play on your phone, and it would still be just as... you know, fun. Yeah. There's no real reason to have it on a console. You know what I mean? So yeah, I recommend it if you just want a cool story. And most importantly, I jumped back into Battlefront 2. I've been playing the, multiplayer a little bit, and I was like, you know what? Every time I click on the play button, first of all, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, man, the multiplayer feels like kind of hollow compared to Battlefield 1. You know what I mean? Like the one that they just put out. You know what I mean? Before this. And I don't know, the first one... Yeah, I'm sorry, Battlefront 1. Battlefront 1 just felt like a better multiplayer game to me. You know what I mean? And I'm not, like, I don't know. Battlefront 2 is still a lot of fun, but it's just, like, multiplayer-wise, it's not as good as the first one. But... I was like, every time you click on play, you go into all the game modes, and there's the campaign, and I was like, okay, I'll try the campaign.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Dude, I was so surprised. The campaign is sick. It's fucking really, really good. I mean, like
the story and everything?
The story, particularly. Everything else is just kind of like a bunch of combat thrown together with cool scenarios and stuff. But the story is surprisingly deep and interesting.
It was
and
supposed to be because that's
it's relevant to like what's going on in the movies.
Mhm.
It's I looked it up. It's all canonical. It's like
yeah, that was the whole point. That everybody was like freaking out about that game because they thought that the people were the parents of Rey. Like,
oh shit.
yeah,
What? I didn't even think about that.
yeah, and then in the
that
movie,
would make a lot of sense actually if they were. But I mean,
yeah, and that was like one of the first things that was put on the list of these are canon now. Like after they got rid of all the old canon.
Yeah.
So.
But dude, wow, I was pleasantly surprised with like the quality of like the voice acting, the quality of the cutscenes. Some of the stealth elements implemented into the actual gameplay were a lot of fun and surprising, considering it was just like a campaign version. Yeah, it really felt a lot like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed meets a campaign from Call of Duty Black Ops, and they kind of just mashed together. That's what it felt like to me.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun. I think it was. I wouldn't mind playing another game like that. I don't know. I sat there and played it all last night. I beat the campaign in about 5 hours, maybe.
God.
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty intense. Yeah, I want to play through the story on that one.
Interesting story, man. It's definitely if you're a big Star Wars guy, you'll appreciate the story. It's kind of got like a Rogue One kind of vibe with like,
nice.
But it's got a lot of like tie-ins with like relevant characters from the main Star Wars movies. So.
Gotcha. No, I love Rogue One.
But yeah, so that's what I've been playing, man. What have you been doing?
So, I played a little bit of Apex Legends with Aaron again, playing on PC.
Oh yeah,
we got a couple games in. That was fun.
You get any dopes?
No. Apparently, Aaron did like right before we started playing together, but it's fun being like, I know everybody else is playing with mouse and keyboard, and I'm like, so whenever I get somebody with like playing with an Xbox One controller, I just feel so dope.
Hell yeah. You don't use mouse and keyboard?
No, fuck that.
You just not good with it or what?
It just doesn't feel right. I grew up as a real gamer, so like
Yeah.
I had like a console with like, a controller in my hand.
I'm not going to say that like I'm good at mouse and keyboard, but I'm adept enough to like play with it if I need to, because like when I was younger, my grandmother had like a really sick gaming PC at her place, and I was always playing like Max Payne and stuff on it, so like I could do it if I need to.
That's the thing, I could do it too. It's just it's the keyboard now, like trying to play.
I understand if you don't want to use your like little fucking pad on there, that's one
no,
thing,
because I don't use a pad. I have a mouse, but it's like imagine trying to play a Twitch shooter like Apex Legends. Like it's all about speed and reaction time, and you're so used to like a controller, and then you try to go over to the keyboard, and it's like hit F2 to like switch your gun and like do all this shit. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I definitely can see there being a bit of a learning curve, but
once you get used to it,
I was about to say you can get used to anything, because the biggest learning curve ever was learning how to adapt to like using VR controls, because you're basically learning how to use these controllers while you're blindfolded.
But it's also more intuitive, though. They tried very hard to make it intuitive.
I mean, not really. Like they were made for last generation. They just kind of they just threw the fucking Move controllers from fucking PS3 onto like the modern hardware. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, it does all work out pretty intuitively.
Yeah, and you can see it like virtually. You can see the where it's at and stuff.
Well, in most games, games understand that that's like an issue, and they try to give you a workaround there. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Some don't really consider it that much.
It's just like it just doesn't feel that good to me. I just don't see why you would want to get rid of your controller and like that. I don't know.
I mean, I like
analog sticks.
I do like that analog stick. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but anyways, I was playing that, and then obviously I played some Tomb Raider.
Right.
I actually had to play through like the first part almost twice, because like the fucking stuff just like messed up on me, and I was just like, oh, whatever. Or I like it recorded too quiet. But anyways, I played a lot of that, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. It's
that game gets better and better as it goes. It really does. It doesn't slow down. It keeps its foot on the gas pedal. That's what I like about it.
That's what I want, yeah. Because I think the first time I played it, I was trying too hard to be stealthy and stuff at the beginning and whatnot. It was really, like, this time I just ran straight through it and, like...
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of a run and gun kind of thing. Like, the stealth elements are a lot better in the future entries in that series. Like, particularly the one I was just playing, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
They really went all out on the stealth on that one. They got almost in like an Assassin's Creed style stealth system. With
nice.
That.
Yeah, and I really needed to be in the mood to play it. That's the thing, is like whenever I first played it, I just wasn't looking for that. You know, I wasn't looking for like that fast paced Michael Bay game movie. You know, like I even say it in the video, like it feels like I'm playing Fast and the Furious. Like it's ridiculous, you know.
My biggest problem with Tomb Raider, and this is gonna sound totally crazy, but my biggest problem with that whole game is that like the animation of how she holds the guns, it looks off to me. Like when she's holding a rifle or something, it almost looks like she's like pointing it off this way and then it shoots that way or something.
Really? I haven't gotten to a rifle
off,
yet.
Dude, like it's so strange how she holds the gun. Even the pistols and stuff. It's like she's holding it like this or something. It's like really off. It just doesn't look natural, like how badass Lara Croft would be holding the gun. You know what I mean? It just doesn't.
Maybe that's the point though, because she's not.
Well, that was my thought in the first game. You know?
Yeah, but now she's like.
But you get to like the third game where she's like bona fide fucking badass with like mud all over her face, just Ramboing people literally, and she's like holding the gun like a fucking like ridiculous. It's like, come on, dude. Like,
I'll have to get back to you on that. I just like I ended the video right as I get the pistol. I was like, okay, I have a weapon now.
Like you can tell that they didn't mocap somebody doing it. You know what I mean? Or if they did, that they were doing it wrong. You know what I mean? Like
they found like the most like terrible shooter.
Like you'd think they would have somebody like teach you how to hold it and look cool doing it. You know what I mean? I don't even care if you're holding it wrong. Just look cool. You know? I just want it to look cool and feel cool. And it's like, I don't know, it doesn't. But
I guess the shooting's not the main focus of the game, though.
No, not at all. And usually I use the bow, and I feel like the animation for the bow is a lot better.
Yeah, the bow's awesome.
She looks dope with the bow, but all the guns look so stupid sometimes. Like
there's like a part where you get, for some reason, there's a bear trap, and you step in it, and then like
for some reason,
yeah, like why is there just a bear trap there? Like
they're trying to trap bears, bro.
They're like on a fucking island. They're like,
duh. No, I'm just kidding.
They're like, oh, there's all these like natives living on this island that are like, they're not up to par with like modern people and all this stuff, yet they have a fucking rusted bear trap.
The bear trap is there to catch tomb raiders trying to raid their tombs, dog.
And so all these wolves are like, they just choose to attack you.
I forgot about that part. I actually really like this part.
Well, it goes in slow-mo as the dog comes out, and it's like pretty, quick. Like it goes slow-mo, there's the dog coming at you, and you got to shoot it in the face. And they just like, in the video, there's like I'm fucking like I have my bow ready, and then slow-mo kicks on, and I'm like looking, I'm like, where the fuck is it? Like I think I thought it was like coming at me, and I just couldn't see it because it was too dark or something.
Yeah.
But it took like 30 seconds before the wolf was even visible, so I was just like in slow-mo, just like sitting there, and then you just see it slowly coming up over the grass, like.
They really want to give you enough time.
I was like, what the fuck? It was ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, it's a very funny game. And then whenever they come to take your foot out of the bear trap, they just shoot it, and that's how they get your foot out of the bear trap.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh, okay. All right. I see where this game is and its realism.
Well, I mean, like in the first 10 minutes, she pulls a fucking piece of rebar out of her leg and just can proceed
out of her. No, not out of her leg. Her fucking gut. Like,
was it in her
it
guts?
went through her side.
Yeah,
like
she pulls it through herself, regardless of where, and fucking proceeds to just walk it off.
Yeah, it is just fucking wade through fucking old dirty body water.
And the whole game, she's getting fucked up that. Dude. And by the end of the game, you'd think she'd just be like, I don't know.
She's like half an arm. Like
I watched this YouTube video about like how many times would Lara Croft have died in Tomb Raider.
Dude.
It was like
instant.
It was like 36 like major injuries and like 8 fatalities or some shit like that.
Oh, there's more. No, she would have died. I even talk about it in the video. She would have died right when it started. Whenever the fucking
fell?
ship, like, yeah, first that part, or whenever like the water just rushes in and like holds her under, and then for some reason somebody was there to pull her out, like, and then suddenly he's like 100 feet away on the other side of the ship, like within a split second. Like,
that's totally what makes that game so great, though.
Yeah,
it's like the
over
whole
the top.
ridiculous Die Hard kind of like thing going on there. You know? I don't know.
It's super over the top. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I was playing. I'm gonna play some more of that this week.
Cool.
Anyway, so let's jump on over to the topic of the show. This week's topic is games that need a sequel. Yeah, so let's start
I tried to
this off.
challenge myself this week. I didn't put any games on my list that already have a sequel. So I didn't do like say like Borderlands 3 or something, you know. If there's already a sequel, you know, these are games that like don't have any sequels at all, and at least for me. You know, it's totally cool if you
They don't have sequels for you.
Well, I mean, you know.
No, I did the same.
I had a few that I really wanted to put on the list, but it's like, I'm going to leave them off because they already have a sequel. For example, like The Darkness.
Yeah.
You know, I want The Darkness 3. I think that would be sick. But since there's already a Darkness 2,
it's a sequel.
Yeah.
Well, see, in mine, like I did 10 of them that I can run through quick because I wanted to do some that I don't normally mention, but there's some that I just have to mention.
I have 10 too, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't even mean to, but
well, it's like, you know, because like I feel like in a lot of these, I mentioned like my favorite games from like the past and stuff, which
Sure.
I can't not mention them in this because that's what I want. But I added some others that I would love as well. But,
well, let's go through it one at a time. We'll go like a top 10 almost.
Okay.
So.
Number 10.
You want to do it, or you?
Mine's not in any specific order, but number 10 for me is Condemned.
That one does have a sequel.
It has a sequel, but see, I'm doing it different. I want a 3.
Oh, that's cool.
I want to Condemn 3.
I would be okay with that. And with modern graphics, I think it would be fucking sick.
That's what I'm saying. They could make a really good game.
They did a lot of like impressive shit with the original Xbox. You know what I mean? All things considering, or was it 360?
It was
either way. It was really
360.
impressive what they managed to do with the hardware at the time. You know?
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I think it was Square that made that, right? No,
I don't think so. I think it was some kind of offshoot game company. I'm not sure though.
I can't remember, but that would be great to see.
Yeah, I would love to see that, honestly. So my number 10 is a scary one too. I want to see another installment of the Exorcist Legion VR. I want like the Exorcist Legion VR 2.
I don't know what that is.
So
wait,
okay.
Yeah, no, I do because you told us about it.
It's like 5 different scenario game. And you like every scenario is like a 40-minute, 30-minute, or no, it's a little longer than that, maybe an hour. Depends on how long it takes you to figure out the puzzles and stuff. But it's like this little scary ass fucking romp through some little haunted house type thing, and they were just so much fun. I would really enjoy another one.
I agree. Well, so one thing I got to mention: Fear was made by the same people that made Condemned.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked Fear a lot too.
Monolith Games.
Really? That's interesting. Those are 2 of my favorite horror games from that era, you know?
Yeah.
Fear was so good. Fear had a great use of like camera angles and stuff, and like sound to like distract you into certain directions and like get you to look one way and then surprise you with some kind of jump scare. Or like they were really good at doing subtle things too, like you'd look past a window and there'd be a face in the window or something, and you go back to look at it and it wouldn't be there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that they were the first, in my opinion, one of the first games to really try to pull stuff like that off and do it well.
It was, and
it's
weird because Condemned and Fear came out the same year.
Really?
2005.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and then they did Condemned 2 in 2008, and then Fear 2 in 2009.
Really?
Right now they're working on Middle Earth, or they did Middle Earth: Shadow of War. And
what's interesting is they had such different feelings, you know, like
but it was the same people.
It was the same people, but like Condemned was so much like, first of all, Condemned looked a lot better in my opinion.
Oh yeah, way better.
I think Condemned had like significantly better graphics. Condemned also was way grittier and darker, despite them both being dark horror games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Condemned felt like dirty, whereas like Fear kind of felt like one of those like The Ring or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it did. And I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, I really liked both of them. I don't know. That's so cool to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope. What have they done? What else have they done? Have they done
the
anything
Shadow
else?
of War, Shadow of Mordor games.
Oh, they did the Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, that's what they've done most recently.
Well, I mean, props to them. They make some good games. I mean,
do.
you got to give it to them.
Monolith.
You know?
That's who it
Shadow
is.
of War isn't exactly my thing, but it's a good-ass game. I mean, you got to,
It's all right.
credit where credit's due.
But yeah, Monolith Games, and that or Condemned was published by Sega. Actually, that's what I was thinking of when I thought of Square for some reason. But anyways, yeah. So that's my number 10. What you got?
I just told you my number 10
for number 9.
Oh, for number 9.
Oh wait. I guess I should do it.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Okay, number 9 for me is Manhunt. I think Manhunt needs a sequel.
Manhunt has a sequel, doesn't it?
I believe they have a Manhunt 2, but I'm talking about now. Like, today would be a perfect time to put that game out. Just because I feel like Rockstar's not working on anything crazy right now.
Yeah.
Or they are working on crazy stuff, but they need that little middle tier, and I was going to put Warriors, but I've already mentioned Warriors before. People know I want that reboot.
With a modern Manhunt, you could make that really scary if you wanted to.
And really scary in a non,
So Manhunt 3, there might already be a Manhunt 3.
There's not. Absolutely not.
There's definitely 2 of them, right?
Let me see. Manhunt games. I don't even think there's 2 of those.
I'm pretty sure.
There might be 2
I could be
Manhunts.
wrong. I thought they made a second one, but if not, I'm thinking of something else. Either way,
yeah, there was a Manhunt 2 that came to Wii.
Oh, okay. I was about to say it came to something weird. Yeah, something you wouldn't expect it to.
I mean, it came to everything, but it came to Wii though. That's why it's
so strange,
so crazy to me.
But like, I don't know, Manhunt could be really cool with like dynamic lighting and like fucking really intense graphics.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Imagine it in the Resident Evil 2 remake engine. Like,
Jesus Christ,
it would be fucking brutal.
It would be brutal as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that would be like hardcore. You might not even be able to do that just because it'd be so. You'd have to.
Well,
you might have to go like the Punisher route with it and put like a filter on while the kills are going or something. You know what I mean? Like,
isn't that sad? Why is that? Why is it like that? I feel like as long as you're killing bad guys, I mean, you're all escaping from a prison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're all psychopaths. Let it be. You know,
it's still pretty hardcore, dude. Like some of that shit is hardcore. Like the whole trash bag over the face, stabbing through the trash bag kind of thing. That is
pretty fucked up.
You know
that is fucking terrible. Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. It's shock horror.
Yeah,
you know,
true that.
Brutality.
Better than Rape Day.
God, yes. Number 9.
So this is the last VR one I'll hit you with, but I think it'd be Sway. Super Hot VR was so good, I think it deserves a sequel.
Yeah, super duper hot.
It was just a lot of fun, man. I love moving and like dodging the bullets. Like I've never played a game where I'm like physically like dodging bullets. I mean, outside of like an arcade or something, but like this is way better. Like you look and see the bullet like go over your shoulder and like go past you, like throw a ninja star, fucking like you see a bullet coming at you and you like block it with your gun barrel and you like pick up a freaking knife and like stab some guy. I don't know. It's just awesome. Like
that is pretty cool.
You feel like super Matrixy. You can punch people. You can like break bottles, throw ashtrays, and all of this is like extreme Matrix style. Like time only moves when you move. And I don't know. I just really want a sequel, man. You don't even have to change the formula or do anything different. I just want
give
more
new stuff.
You know what I mean? Like it was so much fun, and it so translates to VR so well. Like it's 30 times better than the normal super hot game. Like I don't know.
I agree. I think it was pretty fun. From what I played, but I didn't play too much in VR.
Ooh man, you got to get in there.
I did. I tried it on yours.
Oh yeah.
And then we got, for me, number 8, Turok. I want a sequel to Turok, but I want it to be modern, and I kind of want it to continue the story. I don't want them to reboot it. I just want them to pick up the story and just pretend like it never stopped. You know, like I just want to see what that looks like in 2019.
How many? So it would be Turok 4?
Yes.
If they did a new one?
Yes. Turok 4. No, because they did Evolution. Was Evolution the third one?
Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, right? And
then Turok Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turok Evolution was one of my favorite games, like, on GameCube.
Yeah.
Absolutely one of my favorite games, even though it's got, like, horrible reviews. Like, I still want that kind of game.
Haters are gonna hate, dude.
Like, I just want to pick that back up where you got your fucking little, like, spike mallet thing and just like go into it. And I want to see dinosaurs in beautiful HD.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I can feel that, dude. I feel like it would end up being like, I don't know.
Nothing's like Turok, because Turok had a very special feel to it, in my opinion. It was almost like a Quake game, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It had that old school feel of like...
I wouldn't mind like a Doom style reboot of Turok.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Fucking yes,
that'd
please.
be sick. If they give it to Bethesda, man, they're good at that kind of stuff,
They really are.
I think this would be a perfect project for Bethesda.
Yeah, and speaking of dinosaurs, I guess you could do Dino Crisis as well. That would be interesting. Yeah. We need a resurgence of dinosaur games. I'm so sad that we haven't had that. Where like Turok type games and like,
Dude, yeah, with Dino Crisis and shit like that.
It was only a popular thing because of Jurassic Park.
Well, I had that Ark game. That's the only game that's trying to do dinosaur stuff now.
And the Isle, that one that I was telling you we should do.
Oh, yeah.
That one where like you literally play as like a dinosaur and like they have
You play as a dinosaur?
You play as a dinosaur.
You get to pick your like race of dinosaur, and
I think so. I think you get to pick it, but once you pick it, you have to live by the rules of that dinosaur.
Oh shit.
So like it's really ridiculous. A lot of people stop playing because of how serious the people who run the game take it. Like they'll ban you if you don't play by the like
Really?
dinosaur rules.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous. It looks awesome though. It's online multiplayer, so you have like gangs of like certain like it's like, oh, you wouldn't find this creature in this type of area, so like it's bullshit or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's like ridiculous.
That's really weird. Why wouldn't they just make it lock you out of that area?
Because they just want people to role play. Like but like there's some dude
like,
just slowly jerking it on the other end of that.
As a developer, like if you really didn't want people to do something, you could just not let them do it. You know what I mean? Like,
which is what he's doing.
I mean, kind of, but like you could just take a more direct approach and just stop people from doing it in the first place, and then you wouldn't have to ban anybody.
Well, I think the main reason they're banning people is like people like just going in and fucking around, like not playing by
like griefing people
with dinos. Well, I think they want more role play. Like they made the game because they just want people to role play in the game, and there's kids coming on just being like just like running around, like.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
Yeah,
anyways, so what's number 8 for you?
You mean Steven? Or no, 8. Yeah.
8.
Yeah, 8. I'm sorry. So, okay, this is one I've only played a little bit of, but I already know I want a sequel. And if my gut tells me anything, they're probably already working on a sequel. I want to get Cuphead 2, man.
That's gonna happen.
I mean, it's just, man, like very rarely do you see such beautiful graphics and stuff like in that 2D like cartoony,
Yeah.
But the people who made Cuphead already said they're working on a different game with the same kind of, with a different kind of animation and stuff. It's gonna be like a totally different project. That being said, I'm sure we'll get Cuphead 2 eventually.
Yeah, at some point. They have to. It makes so much money, won so many awards.
Yeah.
Such a good game.
I can't wait for it to come out on Switch so I can really sink my fucking teeth into it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude. Hopefully it has online play, because we need to play together.
Ooh, yes, it should. It's supposed to support Xbox Live. So,
then fuck yeah. We're playing together, dude.
Yeah.
And then number 7 for me is another one that has sequels, but I want it Brothers in Arms. I want just a brand new Brothers in Arms. I feel like
Brothers in Arms was dope.
It was amazing.
It was really good. It had a better story than most of the World War II games. You know what I mean? Like,
it had a better story. It had like squad commands and stuff like that, which was really my favorite part of it. Was that it wasn't just your run of the mill run and gun game.
What I was gonna my thought about Brothers in Arms is like other World War II games felt like direct rip-offs of popular World War II movies, almost scene for scene. Whereas Brothers in Arms kind of felt like its own thing.
It was its own movie.
It really did. It had its own its own vibe going for it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's focus on story. I still remember in the first one, whenever at the end, spoilers, everyone gets killed. But
when you're
in the
crawling
squad,
away from the tank.
yeah, and you
Dude,
see
that shit was so fucking hardcore, dude.
you see your homies a chunk of his head just pop off from a sniper, and then.
Didn't you climb up onto the tank and shoot the guy in the tank or something? I forgot how
I can't
how
remember
it goes
exactly.
down. It was really epic though. You if I remember correctly, there's a little piece, a metal hole where the people in the tank can see out, and you get all the way up on the tank, and you start shooting into the little hole or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't remember that part.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was somehow you incapacitate a tank.
Yeah.
Or you throw a grenade in the hole or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really epic.
I like how strategic it was, just in general. It felt like if you took Fire Emblem and turned it into a World War II game.
Yeah, and it
In
was
a way.
it was a little harder than your typical World
Very
War
hard.
II game. You know.
That's what I like. I like the challenge.
Mhm.
Anyways, but yeah, that's something that I want to see today. It's like XCOM. Just take
Yeah.
XCOM, but put it in first person. And
XCOM would be interesting. I was actually. It's funny you said that. I was reading about this game called XCOM Declassified something. I forgot what it was, but it's not your run of the mill XCOM game. It's like a third person over the shoulder shooter game, and it's it's got the XCOM name, but other than that, it's really got nothing to do with XCOM. And it's
weird.
I don't know. So
I'm gonna look into that.
Sorry, that's kind of random for me to bring up, but it's it exists out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And apparently it's really good.
I wonder if XCOM is related to Brothers in Arms.
What? You
Like-
mean as
like
far as the people who
developers.
made it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Because
see that.
it's a very similar game. Brothers in Arms. What you got while I'm looking this up?
So my next one is going to be The Wolf Among Us. This is one game that, they had announced a sequel for a while back, but now that Telltale Games is no longer a studio at all, I don't expect us to get it anytime soon. That being said, that IP is still floating around out there. I mean, it is, possible that somebody could pick it up maybe and run with it. I think it'd be really cool if Square Enix, instead of doing it Life is Strange 3, they picked it up or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just wishful thinking on that one, you know what I mean? But can you imagine if a big budget fucking company like Quantic Dream or something did Wolf Among Us 2? You know
That
what I mean?
would be really dope. I didn't even think about Wolf Among Us. It's really upsetting that they only did that one season.
No, I wish we could have gotten at least one more season of Wolf Among Us before they passed away.
Yeah, for real. I guess they're a new company now, though. Technically, they didn't die. They just killed everyone that worked for them, and then they kept going. Yeah, it turns out it was made by Gearbox. So Borderlands creators made Brothers in Arms.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So we might one day get a sequel. No, number 6 for me is Super Mario RPG.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That would
one.
be dope with modern graphics,
But see, I wouldn't want it to be so modern. I'd want them to keep that
top down.
Isometric looking, just super charming look of old, RPGs.
What if they did it with the HD 2D thing from Octopath?
Oh, dude, if the same devs that did Octopath Traveler did it, that would be fucking sick.
That would be so sick.
But it's in the Mushroom Kingdom,
because Square, before they were Square Enix, actually made that game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not out of the question that Nintendo could partner up with some other kind of RPG, making company and make something cool like that.
Yeah, dude. Do
What
it.
if okay? What if they outsourced their fucking shit to Bethesda and did Mario RPG?
Is it everything Bethesda?
No, because
It's
it
like
would
Fallout?
be a totally different RPG. What if it's like Fallout? You just it starts out and it's you're all fucking in the sewer working on a pipe, and then how in traditional Fallout style you come out to the big open world. You come up out of a pipe. It's bloop bloop,
Oh my god!
You see the big open world around you.
All these like fucking mutated Goombas just like can just shoot their little legs off, little feet off.
The VATS mode.
Yeah.
You're just like throwing fireballs.
Yeah.
Uh,
What you got for number 6?
Okay, so number 6 for me is one that I really enjoyed. I think a lot of other people really enjoyed. Kind of got like a cult following. Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, I'm surprised that doesn't have a sequel.
Me too. I think the main reason it doesn't have a sequel is because they had to rework. Like it's mainly just like a revision of like True Crime Streets of Hong Kong.
Yeah, it was a revision.
So it's like, I don't know, maybe they didn't feel like putting in the work to like write a sequel. But I think like if you were to make the game was so good being a revision that I think if you were to make it from the ground up, it would be excellent. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Especially with like the combat. That's what made that game so sick, is like the mix of like driving and stuff and like hand to hand combat, like just beating the shit out of people in like with kung fu and shit felt really fucking cool in that game. You know what I mean? Like
I think what happened is you saw a lot of these games fall off after GTA 5 was like coming out. It was just like, there's no sense in trying to make a sandbox
GTA 5
game.
was good as fuck, man. There's just no way around it. It's the fact that it's still like in the top 10 charts like today.
You just
know
can't
what I mean?
beat it, I have a feeling GTA 6 is going to have some trouble
You can't even try to
beating
beat it. That's the thing. There's no point in attempting to beat it. It's like Saints Row. Eventually they were like, okay, we can't beat it, so we're just going to go completely wacky with it.
We're going to do our own dumb shit.
But Sleeping Dogs, in its own way, doesn't have to beat it because it's got enough style and like uniqueness in the gameplay. Yeah, the kung fu and the Hong Kong setting makes a big difference. You know what I mean? Like, aside from like Chinatown Wars, you don't have any kind of like Asian setting in a Grand Theft Auto game or really any other game like that, aside from like maybe like Yakuza or something, but I don't even think that's really a Grand Theft Auto style game.
John Woo's whatever
Stranglehold, but that wasn't a sandbox game. That was just a
I know,
but that was tight, dude. That game needs a
game.
sequel too. That's not on my list or anything, but that game would be fucking sick for
it
a
was
sequel.
a smart game,
dude. Yeah. I loved it, and that was one that used the bullet time thing really effectively. I feel like any game that can like effectively use bullet time like mid combat is my kind of shit.
Yeah,
like Enter the Matrix, John Woo's Stranglehold, super hot. I'm all about that shit.
So number 5 for me is Minecraft. I'm like, I keep wanting to go back to Minecraft, but it just doesn't. It feels dated to me, like something about I'm
with you,
like,
but my question is, what would they do?
What
would they do to make it worthy of a number 2 behind it?
I think there's a way to do it. I think like you could innovate on what's already there, like maybe
make it like No Man's Sky where you can go to different planets.
Yeah, like anything, like add vehicles, add like besides like mine carts or whatever.
Vehicles would be sweet.
Like you can build vehicles,
build
or like
cars. Oh
yeah, like
dude.
make it more Lego
planes. Yeah,
take it to the next level, and even like leave or keep supporting Minecraft 1, in case like this endeavor is not that great, but Minecraft 2 could be all about adding vehicles or adding flight and
that would
space
be sick.
travel.
I'm on board. At first I wasn't on board. Now I'm on board.
Like take us to the moon. Let us pull chunks of cheese out of the moon.
That could add a whole new element to survival mode. Is like trying to build up enough resources to like get a spaceship or something and blast off, go to a different planet.
And it'll be so cool in little like block textures and shit. Like to be just like leaving the stratosphere to go to
that'd be tight.
Space.
You have to build like your whole like missile silo to fucking launch your rocket and shit. You know what I mean? That'd be sweet.
Yep. So what you got for 5?
So for 5, another Asian, sticking with the Asian theme, Jade Empire.
Yeah, never made a sequel to that.
No, but it needs one. It's one of BioWare's only like original IPs that never really got a sequel, which is kind of sad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is strange. It would have just went to Obsidian.
It's odd because it's just such a good story. I feel like most of the times in video game world, if you have a game that's got such a good story like that, that's so well received, like nobody played Jade Empire and was just like, oh, fuck that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was awesome. Everybody loved it. I don't know. It's just weird that it didn't get a sequel.
Definitely. It is weird. Very strange. But number 4, Freedom Fighters.
Oh, man.
Never
Ooh.
a sequel. They went on to make Kane and Lynch, actually.
You can kind of see the Freedom Fighters' influence in Kane and Lynch, oddly enough.
I never played it, so I don't know.
Not necessarily like in the gameplay or anything, but just how the art looks. Yeah, like the art style is very, I don't know, similar in both. Yeah.
So much freedom in here. No, I feel like that's a game of yesteryear. Like that's like the gameplay itself. You know, like that third person,
that whole army of two kind of thing. You know,
almost. Except for you had like a squad of like 7, or I think it was like up to 8. You know, freedom fighters that would just follow you around. You could just tell them to run at one thing.
Oh, I was talking about Kane and Lynch. My bad.
Oh, yeah. No,
yes. Freedom Fighters was tight, dude.
So dope. It was more of that Brothers in Arms stuff, but way quicker and way less focused on, like...
It kind of reminded me of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, where you'd pick up your posse of, like, Grove Street guys and fill up your car and, like, go fuck people up.
Hell yeah. That's exactly what it was like, but just, like, with freedom fighters and, like, it was more focused on that, you know. So like the whole game was based around your squad commands, and like the multiplayer was so fucking cool because like you have all these, it's like you and then all of your fucking like squad versus somebody else and their entire squad, and you got to try and take over these like forts, you know, and whoever gets all the forts, you know, wins. It's so fucking cool. I miss shit like that.
Dude,
that would be cool to bring back to today,
dude. Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm all about that. So my number 4 is going to be Shadow of the Colossus. Now, the reason I say this, the reason I'm kind of a little weary about saying this is like, I'm not really sure story-wise how you would do a sequel to Shadow of the Colossus, because you kill all the Colossus in the first one.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Like...
But, you know, maybe it's like... on a different planet or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Or
maybe you're in the ocean
time.
And you're killing all the big monsters of the sea or something. You know
that would be
what I mean?
Cool.
That like
fine, and that would suck.
Colossus of the Depths or something. You know what I mean? It could just be called something Colossus that has to do with water. Like
you just swim around the whole time.
Waves
That wouldn't
of
feel
the
as
Colossus
cool,
or something.
You couldn't do underwater, man. You just couldn't make a full underwater.
You wouldn't be going underwater. You'd be on a little boat, and you'd be like, you know how like
dope.
The whole concept of the first one, you're on your horse and you're like looking around the field.
Yeah.
You're on a boat and you got your like light and you're following the light to the, and all of a sudden like fucking giant whale or something, or like an island comes out of the water, or like sometimes you pull up on islands and like it's a normal Colossus, but he's
dude,
like
just a giant Moby Dick.
It's a huge Moby Dick, bro.
Just a fucking ginormous Moby Dick. Or you just fight a narwhal, dude. Like there'd be so much cool shit to fight.
Yeah, I could see that. Being cool.
A Kraken, you know?
Yeah, Kraken. You could do. There's a lot of like cool big sea monsters that you could draw on inspiration from legend, like Charybdis and Scylla from like the Odyssey. You know what I mean?
Dude. Good call. And then number 3 for me is Brute Force. Now, this game was decent to me.
I don't remember this.
It was the game that Bungie made like after Halo got super popular. You remember it was like a third-person shooter, and there's like it's all aliens and shit. Like,
bro, I don't remember that at all.
Look up Brute Force on your phone real quick. Just get an image of it. It'll jog your memory so quick.
Hold up.
Because it wasn't as good as everybody had hyped it up in their mind because Halo was so good.
Sure, yeah.
You know, but it was still fun to me. Like I enjoyed it, and I remember me and Dylan used to play it. It had like co-op and everything in it. It was very niche.
Oh fuck, I do remember this.
Yeah,
that actually was a fun game. I remember playing that with you guys.
Yeah, it was. It was very fun, and that's the thing is like I want to see what that looks like today. Having a 4-person like co-op alien like game. I don't even really remember what the story was. I just remember enjoying it.
It was third person, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember using like the black button to throw grenades or some shit. Like,
dude, the black button and the white button were so inconveniently placed on the controller.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
They were the right and left bumper, but just
but just next to each other above your right thumb. Like, what the fuck?
It was very weird. We didn't know it was weird back then, though.
No, at the time it was awesome.
We didn't know the future. But anyways, yeah, that's one I want to see a sequel to. I want to see Bungie just put a lot, like a small part of their team to just fuck with it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So, okay, one I need a sequel for, and I feel confident that maybe in the next generation we'll get one. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes,
The
that'll
story
probably
was
happen very soon.
impeccable. It was just an all-around great game, and it deserves a sequel. It was really good.
It was made by the people who made Crysis.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
well, that explains why it looks so good.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's in the Cry engine.
Yeah. No, that was a sweet-ass game, dude. Like, for realsies.
Yeah, I would play it, but it's on PlayStation. Yeah, number 2 for me is controversial. Super Mario 64. A lot of people claim that,
Odyssey
is the
more
sequel,
or less, yeah.
which I disagree with. I think it, in its heart, it's got some Super Mario 64 in it. But
so when you say you want a sequel to Super Mario 64, do you want to be like jumping through paintings at
Yes.
the castle?
I want a hub world, and I want to jump into big
Paintings.
worlds. I don't want this giant and I'm not hating on Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey is a 10 out of 10, a fucking
Sure.
master
Great
class.
game.
But it's not. It didn't give me what I was hoping. It gave me something that I loved, but at the same time, like nothing feels like Mario 64. Like that up close and personal Mario, where you jump into paintings, and I want to go back to Snow World and like all these different places.
I'm inclined to agree with you, and there's something special about how small and intimate each level was in Mario
Yes.
64. Like, none of the levels were that big.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was a bad thing. I think it really made you want to explore every little nook and cranny in the
Yes.
levels. You know what I mean? And I thought that was cool. I think some of the Odyssey levels were a little too big,
Too spacious, and
too spaced out. Yeah, they could have crammed it together closer, and it would have felt better, in my opinion.
And it was also there was less magic to it. It was more like go out and finish this list of like 100 things.
Yeah,
Like
do these fucking chores.
yeah, it's
Come
like,
back and see me afterwards.
like I'm talking like the magic of going into
And you get the star, and he does his little dance and throws him out of the fucking painting. You know? Like, you're either getting thrown out of that painting fucking dead, or you're getting thrown out of that painting with a fucking star. And either way, you're not coming out of that painting otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, I love
you
that.
can like lose your hat and like all this
yeah.
stuff. It's like these little magical things that like you don't think about, but it's like that little tiny detail. It's like, oh, if you run around this tree a couple times, like it'll do something like that.
Yeah.
You just don't even think about.
I love that.
Like even chasing the rabbits in this one, it just felt like, oh, each level I know I'm gonna have to chase some rabbits down. Like it's like I liked how it was just in a random place in the castle that you unlocked. Like I want to slowly unlock an area.
I don't know. I had a couple of like times while I was playing Odyssey where there was that little magical tinge of like, oh, this is interesting or fun or creative. But I definitely feel what you're saying. Like there was just more of that in and
like Super Mario Galaxy got a sequel.
a great example of that for Mario 64 is that part where you like look up at the top sky and you have to use the free look, and then it takes you to the sky world, and you're like flying around with the cap.
Here we go.
That's like, oh
it's
shit!
just like all that shit.
The first time that happens to you as a kid, you're like, "What did I even do?" Like,
I know. It's
or when
fucking
you
dope,
backflip
dude.
up into that corner place, and it teleports you into the water world, that secret water level. You know what I mean?
Oh man, it's funny as you're saying this. I hear the songs for every level you're talking about.
Here we go. Mount Pickle.
Number 2, or no, you need 3. Yeah, 2 for you. What's
2 for me?
2 for you.
So this is one. This is the only one on my list that I know for a fact there is a sequel coming for. But I'm so excited about it, I just got to talk about it. So I'm using this opportunity to do so. Psychonauts.
Yeah.
Got to have sequel.
Exciting.
That's exciting.
It's coming.
I mean, it's already got Rhombus of Ruin, but that doesn't really count. That's more of an experience.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not.
I don't know, man.
Psychonauts.
The first Psychonauts game is so damn good. It's so good. It's kind of like it's like Kirby in the aspect of like you get so many powers and stuff and like learn so many new abilities that you stop caring that it's like dated and old, you know what I mean? And it still holds up in that respect. It's like the gameplay is so fun, it carries the oldness of it, you know? So I can only imagine with like modern graphics and like all that stuff how good it'll be, you know what I mean?
It's a very interesting world and idea. So.
The characters are all interesting. There's a lot of fun characters that like have a really strong personality, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. And then number 1 for me is Conker's Bad Fur Day, of course. That's why I had to do 10.
Of course.
Because every episode's going to mention Conker's Bad Fur Day. A sequel to this game is needed so fucking badly.
That would be life, dude. The thing about Conker's Bad Fur Day 1 is like it's basically a parody of like 5 or 6 movies, 10 movies, something like that. Can you imagine today with all the movies that have come out that they could parody? Like,
you know what they fuck with.
You could have a Conker where he's like, it starts out, it's like the Revenant, and he like getting attacked by the bear. You know?
Oh
what
my
I mean?
gosh, yes, dude, that's
you
smart.
get like nursed back to health and shit. That would be awesome.
So, and you know, there'd be some
Django.
references to. Oh my god,
dude, you could do so much horrible, fucked up shit with that game. It would be so great.
Hell yeah, you could. And The Ring, The Grudge,
oh my
things
God.
that like
all horror movies. You could just have a whole horror movie world where it's basically like a scary movie and makes fun of all the different horror movies in one like level. You know what I mean?
Dude, it makes me literally just like fucking sick thinking about it. Like I want that so bad, and I know
potential is so real.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Chris Seavers, like I said, he's working on the spiritual successor, but it's not the same. You know, like I mean, not that I'm already assuming it's not the same. It's just the fact that it's not Conker.
Yeah,
you know?
he's his own little character. He's important
in that world. That world is canon to me. You know, like you know,
absolutely, as ridiculous as it is.
It's like, oh, this happened there. You know, like it's like as much as you try to make the characters look the same and stuff like that, it won't be the same. Yeah. And I think Rare needs to put Sea of Thieves where it belongs. You know, sleeping with the fishes, and like just bring Chris Seaver on, whether you guys like him or not. I don't know what the deal is with that, and fucking make Conker's Bad Fur Day 2. None of this fucking Project Spark, fucking just. Oh my god, that was terrible. And then like
they should just go all out, man. I think Conker's Bad Fur Day 2 would be so fucking funny.
It would be, dude. It'd be so. Or Chris Seaver should get the rights to it. He should try and get the rights and then do a success. Anyways, but yeah, that was number 1 for me. What's number 1 for you?
Number 1 for me is Pokemon Snap.
Dude, that's a good one. Pokemon Snap, it needs to come to Switch. This is the perfect time.
The perfect game for Switch, too. Especially with, like, doesn't it have, like, that Labo camera thing?
Of course.
If you really wanted to get into it, you could put your, like, Labo camera on and, like, move it around and, like, take the pictures,
Hell
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? That'd be fucking sick. Especially with, like, the gyroscopic Switch controls, because it's pretty responsive if you've ever tried playing something with the gyroscope thing. You could have it to where you just sit in one place and move the thing around like a camera, you know, and take pictures of stuff. I don't know. That would be tight to me.
I think that would be amazing. And I'm really upset that I feel like it's never going to happen just because it was a thing of its time. Like, the only reason that game was so important when it did come out was because nobody had seen, like, 3D Pokemon, you know, like in a world where you could just, like, see them.
But there's also an element of like the photography as the gameplay mechanic that made it, that was really fun. Like,
yeah,
there was something to that because Dead Rising did it in the first Dead Rising game and made it fun too. You know what I mean? There's something satisfying about taking picture and like the game being like, oh, that's a great picture. You get 1 billion points. Bing, ding, ding, ding. And you're like, fuck yeah, I'm an awesome photographer.
I feel like if they just made it a little bit more complicated or complex when it comes to the photography, like come up with some type of system.
Exposures, lighting, things like that.
That would be
You have
cool.
to turn your flash on when you're in a cave. You have to, but if you have your flash on, you can't get a picture of a certain Pokemon because it's like a Steelix and the flash flashes back at the camera. So you got to go through again and do it again, but then that when you get to Steelix that time, you're gonna know not to have your flash on. But the whole time there's something else crazy going on behind you, just like the original Pokemon Snap. You know, that's what made Pokemon Snap. That's another thing that made Pokemon Snap so great is the replayability factor.
Yeah, because
every time you went through, you're looking a different way and you're seeing a different thing. They have it to where like no matter which way you're looking, some kind of crazy thing's going on. You know,
definitely.
I don't know, and all the hidden stuff was wonderful. Like you throw the ball into the thing, and that's another thing. You'd go back to earlier levels with your gadgets you'd unlock from the later levels, and like throw your apples, and like you could get like Charmander to come out of the lava whenever he wasn't originally, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I like it.
I really think that would be sweet to get a sequel to.
Give us Pokemon Snap 2.
Yeah.
Snap to it.
You know what else you could do with Pokemon Snap 2? You can make Pokemon Snap Go.
Yeah, you could.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
I wouldn't want that.
Yeah,
though.
that would be kind of whack.
Don't do that.
Just kidding.
Just give it.
I take that back.
Give us the Switch.
Take that back. Just forget I said anything. Guys.
Anyways, so that's it for the topic of the show, guys. Let us know what games you want to have a sequel come out for.
Yeah.
On the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast. Anyways, we're going to jump on over to the People's Champ. Who's the champ this week, Brent?
Oh, man. We, hang on, let me make sure it's not, hang on, because we got another question since the last time I looked, so I just got to make sure he's not the champ, you know?
Yeah, he could be the champ. You could be the champ. Am I the champ? My God.
Okay, I'm going to give it to Devin. Devon. Mayor. He says, what do you think the next big trend will be for shooters after BR dies down?
So, I've been thinking about this.
Okay, let's talk about trends for a second before we get into that. It was Call of Duty multiplayer for a while.
Yeah,
that was the big thing.
Before that, it was like...
And then it was Overwatch, hero shooters. You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't think that was as big of a trend. Because...
I don't know, man. It was a pretty big deal for a year or two.
Yeah, I guess.
It won Game of the Year, inspired a bunch of knockoffs, you know?
I feel like Battle Royale's been around longer, though.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think that's just because Battle Royale knocked it off its throne while it, was in its prime.
In its peak.
You know what I mean?
And then added that same shit with Apex Legends.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think it's going to die back down to a less, less people in a match, but
still Battle Royale?
No. I think NPCs are going to be an important thing in the future, like our bots. Almost like mix MOBA in with
like Titanfall, like original Titanfall, with all the like little guys walking around that weren't players.
No. I'm thinking like freedom fighters, like a more filled out, more focused freedom fighters multiplayer, where people will have squads versus other squads, but it'll be fast-paced action.
What if you did that to the extreme, where you're like both the commanders of a whole army, and you like...
Oh, that'd be intense.
Take your army into fucking battle. That'd be sick, dude.
I'm surprised they haven't done that. Or they probably have on PC or something.
Probably.
But see, and I don't want it to get too complicated, because then I don't think it would become a trend. I think it's got to be something that anyone can jump into. And I think that it would be easy for anybody to have maybe 6, almost like minions. Just call them minions like they do in MOBAs. And they basically just run around and do extra damage to places, and you can kind of be like, oh, go over this way, or you can, if you want to, you can get as complex as you want to and control it down to the very each individual teammate you have, or you can just send them as a group to go and attack an area.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. I could see that work. I don't know. I personally think that what's going to happen with Battle Royale is, like he was saying, it's going to get smaller and smaller matches. I think we're going to get to a point where it's going to be 12-person Battle Royales, you know what I mean? And it's going to be
Counter-Strike?
Kind of, but not the same, you know what I mean? More like Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think we're going to go back to the roots a little bit, and then it's going to be some kind of crazy thing that comes out. But I don't know. I think what's going to happen is the big thing that's going to be the focus of the next gen of shooters is going to be so stupid, but I think it's going to be destruction. The ability to destroy everything in the map. You know what I mean?
I
And
can
have it
see
look
that.
beautiful. You know what I mean? And then tear it all down piece by piece, like piece of wood by piece of wood. You know,
Kind of like Crackdown, but
kind of
or like what Crackdown promised. You know, for
I'm imagining like Rainbow Six Siege, like, you know how you can more or less shoot through any wall and blow up any wall in the house, you know?
yeah.
Like I want a really small contained map where everything is like that, only way more detailed, you know? Every little bullet knocks a little piece out of the wall or leaves a realistic actual hole in the wall, like bullet hole, you know? I want like uber detailed like destruction. You know, and
That'd be cool.
I think that regardless of the gameplay type, I think that will be the focus of the next, you know, wave of multiplayer. It's going to be like, you know, smaller matches with more detailed levels. You know, I don't know. Level design, I guess, is where I'm getting with this. I think we're going to have more
intricate
levels. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Regardless of what the actual gameplay type ends up being.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Devin. Devin, let us know what you think the trend's going to be. I want to know, honestly.
I'm curious, yeah.
What you have in
let's see. We also have Jeffrey here. He says, so with Sekiro turning the world on its axis with a stealth action game, are there any old nostalgic titles that had game mechanics that you would like to make a comeback? For me, it would be to have a Legend of Dragoon turn-based battle system, which allowed for combining which breathed a lot of life into the old JRPGs. Lost me a little at the end there, but I get what you're saying. I think if I had to pick some kind of old style to come back, I feel like if you dig hard enough, you can find a game of any genre that's being made in a modern way. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think I would like the mechanic of bullet time to come back in a modern game.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, I take it back. Bullet time.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm
when's the last game
100% with you there.
that was just like, besides...
I want a straight-up Matrix game, dude. I want Enter the Matrix 2. What VR. The fuck am I thinking? Why wasn't that on my fucking list of games?
Enter the Matrix VR, where it's an MMO.
God, dude, that would be so sick.
You gotta jack into the Matrix.
Just, everybody's dodging bullets.
Dude,
like,
that'd be dope.
It'd be really dope if you had like a full body room, like full body suit in a room, and like, I don't know, you could really like run up walls and shit somehow. I don't know, that'd be sick.
That'd be ridiculous.
If you had your like self like suspended from like bungees or something, and you could like make it to where it was like zero gravity, and you like doing backflips and stuff.
Oh my god, that'd be ridiculous.
That'd be stupid but awesome.
There'd be so many lawsuits when people just fall on their neck,
right?
Yeah, so bullet time for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's me too.
Okay.
Then we got Nick Geyer here.
Nick.
He says, do casual players even have a chance to get good experience out of Division 2 with the new grind style they introduced?
So I've heard a lot about this. I've heard that there's like a very big gap between like say somebody has a higher level and you hop on with them. And, you know, like, apparently that little, like, gap is so big that it's just not worth playing with somebody who's better, or who has more experience than you, or someone who's on a higher level than you.
Can't they just play at a lower level until you get good?
I don't know. I don't know how that works, honestly. But I know there's a lot of people talking about it, saying that it was a big issue. But they said it wasn't such a big issue that, you know, you can't play the game. I think a lot of people were even saying the game's great just playing it single player, like not even like hopping on with...
I've actually seen people say that that's the best way to play it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. I think anybody can pick it up and play it as far as I know. But I honestly haven't played it yet because I'm waiting till Brent gets it. And then...
Yeah, and frankly, you know, this is one of those games that if you wait long enough people will complain and they'll eventually patch whatever it is, you know? So... You know, that's the beauty and the curse of today's society. You know, if there's a problem, it will probably get fixed unless the game is just complete ass. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And this game's definitely going to be supported.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a big deal, man. I think you should hop onto it. Anyways.
Agreed.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it for listener questions. Thank you so much, guys, for the listener questions.
We love you all. We
do.
Love you.
It means a lot to us. Anyways, so we're going to finish up the show with This Week in Gaming History. Brent, take us back.
All right, we're going to finish strong with gaming history this week. March 28th, 2001. Can you guess it?
What console?
N64.
2001.
Yeah.
This was towards the end of the life cycle. Fuck. It's got to be...
Can I give you a hint?
Yeah, give me a hint.
The game cartridge was like really cool colors and stuff. It was like... It wasn't your typical gray cartridge.
Was it Majora's Mask?
No.
Okay, very cool colors. What color?
I want to say it was gold, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because the only gold ones were Zelda. They didn't make any other gold cartridges.
Oh, here, let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, look at the card because I want to guess this one.
Okay, keep guessing. Just keep guessing random.
Is it a Nintendo published game?
Yes.
Okay. So now it's published by Nintendo. It's got a weird colored cartridge. Is it Donkey Kong?
No, but that's a good guess.
Oh, man. This is tough. Tougher than I thought.
Oh, man, I think it was gold, bro.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Who developed it?
Game Freak, I think.
Oh, Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Pokemon Stadium 2.
Pokemon Stadium 2.
To be exact.
Okay, and that was gold. You're right. I want
Because it's like...
gold
like
and
that.
silver.
And I think mine even had like a holographic picture of like Lugia and Oo on there, but I could be wrong. That might have been Majora's Mask that I'm thinking of. But either way, sick-ass game. That came out in 2001, March 28th.
That's crazy. I love that game.
I got a couple more for you, too.
Okay.
March 24th, 2000, N64. Can you guess it?
March 2000, so it was a year before.
Mm-hmm.
Was it developed by Nintendo?
Yes. Well, no, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's a first party title.
Yeah, first party for sure.
Let me think. Was it Mario 64? No, because
this is one of my favorites from N64. If that gives you a hint.
I'm guessing it had to be a Zelda game, right? So
no, it's related to Smash Brothers in a way, but it's not Smash Brothers.
What the fuck? It's not Smash Brothers. Related to Smash Brothers. Mario Party?
Mm-mm. It's only related to Smash Brothers because of the creator.
Oh, Kirby.
Yeah.
I would have never expected it. Kirby's Dream Land?
Kirby and the Crystal Shards.
And Crystal Dream Land.
My favorite Kirby game, dude.
Yeah. I forgot that was one of your favorite N64 games.
Dude, probably my favorite N64
Holy
game.
shit.
Let me think about it.
All the Zelda games,
well,
fucking Mario 64, Super Smash Bros, Mario Parties.
Okay, there's some good ones. It's definitely on the top 10.
Wow.
Well, that'd be we ought to do a favorite N64 game.
Yeah, we should go to each console and do our top 10 games for that console.
Sick. Oh, good call. We should do that.
We'll do that. Another 9-parter.
Then I got one more for you.
Okay.
March 27th, 2000. This was on Windows. This was on computer.
March 27th,
Super
2000.
violent.
2000. Was it Grand Theft Auto?
It was a first-person shooter, I believe.
First-person shooter.
It might be kind of hard to guess, honestly.
Is it Painkiller? No, I'm just kidding. Quake? Doom?
Kind of in the right vein, though.
Yeah, this is tough for me because I wasn't a PC gamer. So what is it?
Soldier of Fortune.
I would have never guessed that. If you would have said PlayStation, I would have said... Because I played Double Helix, the sequel.
Well, this one, I think this was the original, the OG.
Yeah, that's a super violent game. Very crazy. You could just cut people up into little pieces.
Just chop them on up. That's how the original Wolfenstein was, too, actually. Some of those Wolfenstein games, not like the original Wolfenstein, but like Wolfenstein 3D was really, really violent like that. It was like...
Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember
it was
being
controversial
violent.
as fuck because it was so violent.
But this one was it was like the Xbox era looking graphics, so it's like a little bit weirder, just like stabbing someone's eye out, like
yeah,
cutting up their faces.
That was pretty fucked up. So
it really was. It made me sick. I remember one time, like the first time I played Double Helix, like I stopped playing it because I felt bad. Like I was like, there's something wrong with this game.
Right?
It's like, why am I enjoying this? Anyway, so remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. It's all one word. Please leave us a like and subscribe over there. And if you want to stay up to date with you boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle AlJafferJamel and Brent at BrentHas1. That's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners, later.